Saturday!
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Saturday Night Sell Swords.
God, that week just
yeah. So, picking up from where we left off, we finished the courtyard encounter, and we're now moving into the mountain estate. This is not drawn to the usual 1 square equals 5 foot scale. In this case, 1 square equals 10 feet. Okay. So I shrunk the map down just to make it a little more accessible for me as you guys are exploring.
True.
Okay?
So we're in half movement.
Yeah, kind of like half movement. But I will be explaining everything when we go to the room, and I'll make sure to reiterate the changes of movement.
Cool.
Okay? So to pick up from last week, you just finished the courtyard encounter, and we started doing some exploration. We were examining 3 hobgoblin corpses that were covered with some type of ritualistic marking, and we deduced that the spell warped template was added to them via some kind of dark magic. You, Yawa Nagamora, you went further into the estate, you cleared the hallway, and you came into this massive banquet hall. There are several pillars on both sides that are helping to support the main ceiling. In the center of the room, you can see there is a hearth that the hobgoblins have converted into basically just like a small fire. It's not as large as it could be, and they're basically just using it as a campfire to cook some meat on. The top of the hearth, they've got equipment on, and what you would expect to be like chairs, tables, decorative equipment, that kind of stuff. All of that has been broken and destroyed and remade into some type of large draconic effigy at the end of the banquet hall here. It is up on a raised stage area. You could deduce that that area would be where like a band would play, or there would be some type of performance that could go on. Now the dragon takes up pretty much the entire area there. In front of it, there is some stage area left, and you can see there are some like ritual components and stuff left out. You can easily figure that if the bodies outside in the stables were the remains of sacrificial offerings, they're probably doing it here in front of the dragon altar. The entire room is effectively low light. There's a little bit of light coming from the campfire, and then there's 4 lit torches in the corners. With the low light, you'd be able to see that there are still 12 hostages marked with the black tokens. In groups of 3, they're each chained to one of the pillars that are supporting the roof. Everyone back in the courtyard, you still have the same courtyard setting. I just haven't redrawn it since now it would be several operations with it. But I still have the notes on them, in case you want to look anything out there. So the bodies out there would be several hobgoblin bodies as well as 3 trolls. And so I believe with our exploration initiative from last week, Yawa went forward. Alec, you started to examine the bodies. That's where you figured that this was some type of forced mutation. And then after that is going to be Gauss. What are you doing?
Right. Well, since we just finished the encounter, I'm just going to reclaim my bolts and explain to everybody, this is Tiamat magic. This is why we are here. We must stop these rituals. Stop more of these abominations from being created. Kabod.
Why'd you make your voice deeper?
Mocking the
cleric.
He's getting scales in really weird places.
One of them was broken.
Okay, so you failed to recover 1 thing of ammunition. Alright. Van, what are you doing?
I'm going to try to extract and preserve some vials of troll blood.
Okay, do you have any type of preservative? Like the Unguent of Timelessness?
General alchemical stuff.
Okay. So, roll a craft alchemy check.
Would you like assistance with that?
Are you asleep?
No, not anymore.
Well, I'm at a 23, but
Well,
I appreciate
I don't think you
assistance.
need it.
Okay. So you managed to find, and within your few minutes of alignment, you get about 5 vials worth of troll's blood. You could easily extract more. It's just in that first set of exploration time frame, you're able to get 5.
Alright, I'd like him to roll a knowledge dungeoneering check to see if he doesn't confuse those vials for other vials.
But during that time, because I know Alec asked me a question before, I look at you and I'm like, this transformation's temporary. It's an experimental compound I put together. Enhances your physical capabilities. Granted, there's a price for that. At this point, you notice that my face is actually more or less hardened scales. Not too different than his, but still different enough. And during that time, smoke starts coming out of my body. As I start shrinking back down, everything starts receding, and I just kind of... And then it goes away after a while.
For a minute there,
Did the
you
tail
had
go
a
away?
little bit more charisma.
You see him kind of, for a moment, try to hide the tail, but then he just kind of... No, that's part of me. It was stronger in the other form, but... It happened in an accident, but it's a handy one, as you see the tail grabbing one of the vials and putting it in a pouch for me.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Issa, what are you doing?
It's probably still in the tower at that point. So I'm gonna check on the carts one last time and then see if there's anything coming
Okay.
from that way.
Yeah, so from back down in the valley, you can see the pack animals tick and tack, and you see your carts. Nothing's come to harass them. It's only been 45 minutes.
Isa, were there any bolts in that tower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since we can't live here.
Thank you.
Do you want me to grab them for you?
Do you speak Draconic?
No.
I'm just gonna keep doing it until she learns.
I got the perfect thing to do on my turn.
So he starts
Hissing and
hissing and growling
Growling
at
at
you.
me.
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I mean, can I kind of get a hint of it or not really?
Roll linguistics.
Is that a thing?
I'm watching.
It
I'm
is.
just
It is
like,
actually.
I can't use it. It's trained only.
Then you'd have no idea what he's saying.
I mean, you could just hold up a bolt and might be able to pick it up from that, but that's about all I'll get.
Yeah, I'll...
Is he trying to bug you now?
Do I have to roll an intelligence
Well,
check to try and figure that out?
Yeah.
that performance?
No, here goes the roll.
Well, actually, yeah. Hold on. Roll performance because you're effectively trying to mime for her to retrieve bolts for you.
Alright, yeah. I think 20.
Wow.
20.
All right. So through the kobold sign language, a lot like the drow sign language.
Charades.
Yeah,
I'm
charades.
just playing
You're
charades.
you're effectively able to be like, oh, he wants me to get bolts from
3
him. Okay.
words.
We'll check later.
First word.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
definitely
we're
confused
so-
about that before. Are drow in this, or is that dark elves?
Drow are in this.
Okay, making sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Alright, so after I check that, I will, and interpret that, I will head down and grab the bolts on the way out because they were on the ground, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll give them to him.
All right. So you can add
Thank you. Kabow.
you can add 80 mundane bolts if you have a place to store them.
Yeah, I do.
His kobold pocket.
And then Asher and I will make our way
Oh my
towards
gosh. I got
everybody else and look over the bodies, help move them, do whatever.
Alright.
Oh, shucks.
Grendier.
Well, I heard hostages, so I'm going to try to go
Did
and
he
see
shout
what's going on.
hostages?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yala shouted them back to you. So you double move in. Same thing as
was too far away
before.
from
You
that.
can see that this was at one point in time, this was a great banquet hall. There's no furniture. All the furniture's been broken and destroyed and then brought
How's
together
that
to make the
good?
dragon effigy. There are 12 hostages from what you can see, 6 in each corner of the far.
Kind
Each
of-
in, yeah, the far corner. It's low light, so you can see there's a little bit of light coming from the center hearth, and then there are 4 torch sconces in the corner.
How many of us have
Can I see if I know anything about like the statue?
Trying to figure out
yeah.
how to say the
Like
thing I'm going to say.
Religion check maybe.
So you could do knowledge religion.
I thought you were upset I kept eating
This
your
is
bolts.
No.
religious.
Natural 20.
Okay, give me a total because you can't automatically
Yeah.
pass the skill check.
I mean,
25.
Okay, so this is very clearly a totem of some kind to Tiamat. Although the dragon does not have 5 distinct heads, you can see in the workmanship that the head has been crafted in such a way as to denote all 5 of the chromatic type of dragon. There is some magic coming from it, so the statue itself is somehow active, and you can tell that it is being used to channel some type of evil ritual. It is also effectively an altar of evil.
So I would wish to destroy it, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
as a lawful good character, destroying a chaotic
Can I-
evil
but I
altar is
can't-
probably something you'd want to do.
I can't get to it right now, though.
You cannot. Because remember, this hallway is, and we're doing 10-foot squares, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're moving, you basically ran in 70 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Took a charge. Yeah. No, that's all I can do right now.
Yep. Mr. X.
Mr. X is currently laying there trying to get over his sickness.
Okay.
And he comes to one, the laying in bed rationalizations. He takes the skin with the hair on it and puts it on his head because he's co-bald.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
You too can be bold.
Please don't dab.
Yeah. Honey, that's one hell of a dress.
Yawa Nakamori takes
It really
20
is.
points of psychic damage and he is now dead.
That broke the shoe.
I forgot, I'm still wearing the elf hair.
Yeah.
I mean the scalp.
Scalp.
It's got hair on it.
The
little
toupee.
bit.
Out of character,
Toupee.
Jamie takes all of
It's
his
organic.
life in terms of.
Oh,
I'm gonna roll. I'll roll it. Okay, that's just roll
Alec.
how much psychic damage I personally
I had to
did.
role play it on.
Oh, that's 12.
Steve. It's your turn.
I mean, I'll start making my way that way.
Making my way that way. Are you running or
It's
just
so
moving?
ironic. I fucking love it. Anyway, and I'm not running, but I will use my move and my action to get that.
Okay,
Go up
so
there.
you pass the door on the left. It's not a hidden door of any kind, but
Oh, there's
you,
doors on the way there.
yeah,
Oh,
there's a
right,
door
each
here,
one-
here,
okay.
and here.
All right. I would actually like to check the first door that we come up to. Actually, then, please.
All right.
Roll
a reflex save.
I was gonna say I don't know things about like checking doors for traps or anything. I don't know what to look for, but it is it locked?
It's not locked.
It's not locked. All right, can I like sneakily Oh, let me listen in first. Is there anybody on the other side of the door or anything?
Is he gonna get home alone?
Are you rolling a perception check to see
Sure.
what's on the
If
okay?
that's exactly what you want me to do, I will do that.
Get home alone.
18 plus 3, 21.
Okay, there doesn't sound like there's any movement on the other
I'm
side.
gonna stealthily open the door.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Stealthy.
6.
Alright, so you open the door.
Normally. like normally how I open doors.
Yeah. So you would find that this is a kitchen of some kind.
Open it like you don't.
As you look in, there's about a 5 foot by 5 foot little walk entrance where you could rest things like goods that are being brought in from the courtyard. So sacks of potatoes, raw materials. Maybe if you've slaughtered some game down in the valley, you could put it on this slab here. Basically just like almost like a prep table.
Okay.
The main part of the kitchen itself, you can see that there are several coal and wood burning stoves of different kinds. You wouldn't necessarily know what each one is used for individually, but you can tell that they would cook such lavish meals here that they go the extra mile to make sure that each particular type of dish they prepare is using the culturally appropriate mechanisms and equipment.
Okay. Is the food rotten or anything? Like, how long does it look like this place? I mean, has
So
it been
there's
used, disarrayed?
you haven't found the storeroom.
Okay.
But the kitchen is ransacked as far as what was kept in here.
Okay.
You wouldn't necessarily anything that was left over, the hobgoblins would have ate, and if they didn't eat it, the trolls would have.
And that's it. There's nothing else in this room then.
Yeah, it's basically just cooking equipment from different parts of the world.
Don't give a shit. Check the next door then.
Okay.
Not to be a dick. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Open. Yeah, I'll check that door. Same exact way I did last time.
Okay, it's not locked. You can open it stealthy if you want.
I'll do it stealthful. 20.
Okay, this looks to be like some type of wine cellar. The room is very long. It's about 10 foot wide. Yeah, but it's about 50 feet long. Both sides are lined with vintage and different types of alcohol. Most of it has been drank. The hobgoblins have gone through and ransacked pretty much everything, but you can tell there are still some bottles remaining. But the floor is riddled with broken glass.
Oh, I know that sometimes these things can be really expensive. Maybe we got lucky and they left a really expensive bottle of wine in there. Can I make a check to see what's left in there?
Sure, you can go ahead and make a perception check.
Or a praise check.
What can I do?
Well, he's looking to see if he can
Well,
find one that's
alcoholism?
full still,
Yeah.
and then he'll be able to make
Okay,
an
well,
appraise check.
perception check's going to go ahead and be a 21.
Okay, so with a perception check with a 21, you do find that as you're kind of searching through, there's about 20 bottles that remain. Out of a room that can hold thousands, 20 are left.
Heard that. Well,
Is there any?
can I use an appraise check to see if there's any of those?
Yeah.
I'll take my time to do my thing if I
Okay.
have to.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can do an appraise check to start appraising the first few.
25.
Okay, so these would be valued probably about 100 gold each. These are incredibly rare bottles of vintage. They're not made anymore. You can tell from the label and from the age that they've been in storage probably for about 1,000 years. You can tell from what languages do you speak?
A lot.
I mean, you're a wizard, so you should have several.
I'm sorry.
While he does that, I have
Draconic.
a question. How does this young man know so much about wine?
You don't know he's young.
Oh, my eyes don't work?
Well, I mean, like, age doesn't. In a world full of magic, he could be thousands of years old.
Common, Draconic, Undercommon, Sylvan, Abyssal, Celestial, and Necral.
Plus you're sitting outside.
Necral?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, so you wouldn't if you don't speak Elvish, you don't know
Sylvan.
what Sylvan's the language of nature. That's what druids speak. Elvish is a sub-dialect of Sylvan.
You gotta bring that to me, boy.
Shit.
Yeah, so you
Or
actually
Dale.
have no idea how old this
Or
is.
you can talk to me.
Well,
It looks old and it looks expensive.
I will call out and let everybody know, hey, if we're here, we might as well take what we can for money. There's a bunch of really fucking expensive wine in here.
Old. You don't know it's expensive.
Okay, there's a bunch of really, really old bottles of wine in here.
Why don't you just assume it's expensive and tell us that anyways?
Old and expensive.
That's, well, yeah, I expect old means expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Alec. Back to Yawa.
Just go with it.
All right. I will make my way to the nearest hostage
Okay.
and ask them what's going on, what the situation is, and if they know if there are any keys or sets of keys that I can help,
Alright.
set them free with.
All right, so they're just being held with rope.
They're just being held with rope?
Yeah, they're weakened to the point, and whoever tied them up was strong enough and had enough competence of taking hostages that they're not able to get out of their bonds naturally. So you could cut them free. When you approach, a couple of them start to like hesitate, and they don't really know what to do. They did hear the encounter going on outside. You do notice one of them starts to weep with joy when they notice that you're not a hobgoblin, nor are you one of the trolls.
Okay.
They start trying to frantically get you to come over and set them loose.
Are they clothed?
Yeah.
I would like to make a
I
perception check.
didn't want to ask.
Okay.
To see
Good
what
question.
races they are. Is there any
They're a mix of humanoid.
a mix of humanoid? That doesn't really denote anything because humanoid can be a wider range of things.
Well, they are the like human,
Human,
half elf, dwarf.
Door.
A bunch of humanoids.
But bunch of stuff. Dwarves.
Is the dwarf one dangling?
No.
I guess I'll talk to the one that my mini is currently facing.
Okay.
How long have you guys been here?
I was taken from the road 7 days ago.
7 days ago. Wow, that's a long time.
Where did you come from? Are you with the military?
I was. Now I'm just an adventurer.
Hurry, set us free. They could come back at any time.
Do you know how many more there were?
7.
There have been many that have come through here. Hobgoblins, some type of lizard thing. I don't know.
Oh God.
Was it wearing hair?
Yeah,
No.
You know,
I'm not
I mean,
in there.
he wants to help, but he's not just gonna trust him right off the rip.
Okay, you can do a sense motive check.
And yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not so good. I'm like,
Woman halfway into the being
12.
sacrificed in a ritual.
Okay,
I
so-
don't trust you. You might be sacrificed for a reason.
evil statue.
So you don't have a feeling of ill will or explicit loyalty from them. You're just unable to. You wouldn't know how they would react, except from anything you could deduce from them, just like you being their
Yeah.
savior.
You're too fucking trusty, bro.
They are willingly being sacrificed. Don't
That
trust
is a
them.
thing. But
Yeah.
She was taken. That's
I
different.
guess I'll cut this one down and glean a little bit more information. What's your name?
Ishtara.
Okay. How long have the other women been here?
Some were here when I arrived. Others have been brought in every other day. There doesn't seem to be a pattern of them bringing us here.
Alright, well, again, I'll cut her down, and I'll give her my masterwork hunting knife, and I'll say, go cut the rest of these individuals down if you can, and
Okay.
then I'll deliberate with my friend over there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you give her the
Don't trust
knife.
them and don't harm them.
She starts to cut down the other individuals, and you come back a little bit.
How wide is that entryway?
20 feet.
20 feet. I will stand next to Gren in such a way that I'm right there, that I'm blocking the entranceway.
Okay.
But I'm still able to talk with him and keep an eye on the Ishtara.
Okay.
You represent
Gauss.
Alright, I guess I heard.
Weird dragon effigy.
No, I think if someone only shouted hostages.
No, you said dragon thing too.
Oh Lord!
Which type?
Gods be praised!
A double move. With a bolt in.
Alright, so you come busting in like a cat looking for food.
Oh no.
Does that scare the rest, the hostages?
I slide in.
Yeah, so when they see Gauss, they start to freak out. And they become terrified and they try to move away from
What about the
him.
one with the
Gosh,
knife?
stop!
Yeah. A
Okay.
kobold
So-
wearing an elf's
So
hat.
he requests that you stop, but so you move into the room.
Yep.
You see the same description as before, a large hearth with a stone slab over it, the stone columns with the hostages, but what you immediately recognize is that this is an altar to Tiamat. You don't even have to roll. You would know that, this effigy is almost exclusively used for practicing sacrificial magic, anything requiring a live sacrifice. Tiamat would then, if she finds the offering worthy, will bestow blessings by breathing through the statue a breath weapon down onto the caster.
I mean, they could.
Good.
What? No.
I mean, you get a +2 distraction bonus.
Well, that's a plus pressure.
It's Tiamat! Destroy it!
Creative distraction.
Cast it into the fire!
Gosh, calm
Let's
down.
set it
Calm
on
down.
fire.
Okay.
Now, which one are you going to try to do?
You
I have
shall
one.
not die.
I don't have any means to set things on fire, so I'm just like
Except for the
crazily.
hearth that's
A wall
burning.
torch. Okay, well that's mine. I'm gonna go grab a sconce. I want to set it on fire.
God.
Okay, so you come over to grab a sconce.
Yep.
This was all intertwined.
And
And
that's
I,
the wall.
I
I heard
stopped him
that,
before
though, right?
he
You
grabbed
can
it.
try.
I heard him screaming that.
Well,
Just look forward
yes,
to him pulling
but yeah. So
sconce
you
on the
try
wall.
to stop him. Why are you trying to stop
Because
him?
I want him to calm down so he doesn't scare the hostages more.
Oh, they're probably
and
terrified.
Potentially.
All right, roll a handle animal.
Oh my god!
well, that was 3!
Oh my god,
So
he's grabbing
he,
fire!
in very, like, you go to grab him, and then he just, like, walks under your hands.
I'm not aware of the
No,
height
stop!
difference.
Oh, yeah.
I saw
You're
that
small.
differently in my mind. I saw him going,
No
like, I'm gonna
human
try to
can
calm
hold
everybody
me.
down. He pulls out his
Huzzah!
gun.
I'm an elf.
Chill! Ow!
Yeah. Big who?
Be cool.
Cobalt, tell these bitches be cool!
We're gonna be like Fonzie. Alright, what's Fonzie? He's cool. Oh boy. I gotta pee.
It's gonna be okay, Hobgoblin. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Alright. Yeah, so you fail to stop him, he goes and grabs the torch.
Oh god, he's just
Van.
waving it around like a madman, like yeah.
Mad
Yeah.
Cobalt.
Cobalt.
I hear this chaos,
Yeah?
and I'm like, now they got this. I'm gonna continue extracting Joel's blood.
Okay. How many empty vials do you have?
Cannon.
Used up some stuff.
Yeah.
So, how about just a D4 and see?
Sure.
Fair. 4.
Alright, so you find 4 more vials of troll's blood. You would also know if you don't find a way to actually alchemically preserve these will grow into trolls eventually.
Can I ascertain about how long that might take?
From blood, it would take days.
Okay. And would I know in my portable alchemical lab that's on the cart, would I possibly have necessary
Yes.
ingredients?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh,
So 9 then total.
so you can't carry a portable out.
Well,
Fun for like.
I can. I just chose not to.
Oh,
He doesn't have
Would
the
you
carrying
like to borrow
capacity.
something from mine?
Train them.
You carrying it on your back and stuff, or
I
your
can
buddies?
not my
for
back,
sell
but
them,
I do
too.
have the mill.
That's for
I used.
like.
I mean, yeah. If you're awake enough to comment on that,
I'm not
We all-
sleeping. I'm just laying there going, oh, too much.
Yeah, just playing.
Oh,
such a-
too
much stuff.
We're here for a week.
But yeah,
What?
no,
Yeah.
I'll
One
replenish
rampant in
the
the city a
compound.
week later,
I'm
and that's
taking
when
what's
we make our
affectionately
decision.
referred to as a disco nap.
Okay.
But yeah, I would finish that and then pretty much okay.
I was just
That's all I can get right
listening.
now.
Oh, I thought you were
Issa.
laughing at disco nap.
He was talking about planting the vials of troll's blood and then letting them run
Cyberman.
rampant through a city. And I was just like, what?
Okay, Saruman, calm
Yeah,
down.
we milk the small town for money.
There's that. But
Actually,
like,
one.
for like
It's your turn.
I'll let it
the
go.
distraction.
That sounds like a start.
I hear the
That's a
chaos
defense.
and I hear
But
women
I'll give
screaming,
that,
so
yeah.
I go in and try to calm them.
Alright, so you come in. You can see that they're actively trying to flee from Gauss.
So I will station myself in between Gauss and them just to try and calm them.
Alright, so you move in, you try to calm them.
He's with us, he's with us. Don't worry about him. He's crazy, it's fine.
So now they see.
That's a good.
So now they see an
Alright.
armored
Those are the
wolf
most
run in.
reassuring words
Yeah.
I've ever heard in my entire life.
Alright, go ahead. Like, you don't have diplomacy. You have a +3.
I gotta
Um,
handle
that's
animal.
nice.
You want me to take care of him?
I mean, yeah, if you want to try to roll a handle animal, you can.
No druid can hold me.
If you want, you
And I'm
can.
just like, I don't understand what you're saying.
I do not understand the words coming out of your mouth.
I mean,
Learn to
it's.
speak real languages.
I mean, it's true as far as she's concerned. You may be trying to set these women on fire.
And that's why they're freaked the
Yeah.
fuck out.
But scares me.
Yeah. So what kind of roll are you
Goes
gonna
both
do?
ways.
Heroes of the storm.
Yeah.
We are. One day.
We gotta teach her Draconic.
How many people? in the
I mean,
party
judging by
actually
his
know
actions and what he's
right?
doing, I would imagine he might be being taken over or reacting to the
I
statue.
feel like that would be a perception check. Like, how
I mean,
do I perceive this?
Yeah.
I'll just
But
try
I'm not
and
the DM, so I can't make those kind of statements.
grab him, I
All
guess,
right. Roll a handle animal.
without getting burned.
Just pick them up off.
I mean, you're.
He's got a torch.
Yeah, you can't just be like, I want to put my body on this person, but totally avoid the weapon they're wielding. Like,
Frantically.
And that's where comes his opposed handle animal check, as he is sentient.
15?
all right, you can roll an escape artist or to try to oppose.
Come on, what?
18.
All right, so you try to restrain him,
No druid can hold me.
and he just wiggles out.
Good. She tried to grab him by the hair.
That would have been like on a 1.
I'm still free.
These poor women.
Yeah, like a.
The first thing they see is
I feel like that'd be more frightening.
frantic
his hair.
kobold swinging a sconce torch.
Head comes in.
He's a Grendier.
Can me and
Just to
Brad
make
just
it
like
more realistic.
Facepalm?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, just like, hey.
How far can I move? Can you?
I love it.
You can move 4 squares. Actually, I've been letting people move pretty far. You can move like 7 squares.
7 squares?
Yeah. Because we're in exploration, so it's more than just one round.
I've been having
Can you just can you stop your friend, please?
1, 2.
Stop my friend.
How many? Sorry, I can't really see. How far is 7 squares forward?
From where
like
you
to
are?
here.
Yeah.
He's about to say near the end of the wall.
Yeah.
Almost.
You could
You
literally
should try
go
an
right
animal
up to
handle
the,
check
But
on
one of them has a weapon. Don't forget.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Watch out for the malnourished.
Yeah, dipshit gave somebody a
I'm
knife.
just saying.
Darn right. That's why
They're
I stood-
freaking out
that's why I
right
stood
now,
to
so
the
they
door.
might just attack anybody who comes at them.
Give him your
I'm gonna run up to the as close as I can.
I mean, it's
To the-
fine.
Statue.
Okay.
And I'm
Clear.
going to throw an acid flask.
Essentially, he could just hand
All right, so
hand
you
anybody's
start
gun.
destroying
They
the
can't use
statue
it.
with some acid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can I throw 2 of them?
It's more
Yeah, go
Sure.
ahead, hold
Really
it.
like
It's a
get
club
on
for
it?
you.
Yeah.
Awesome, I'm out of
more of
acid
a
flask.
detriment to them than it is me.
Yeah.
Destroy
Acid
the
well
effigy.
spent.
Mm-hmm.
Going to go make it to Blake, as he is probably informed me by now. He needs some alchemical equipment.
Okay.
I go back to make the cart.
200.
Well, let's use at the cart.
I gotta stabilize
Wait,
this stuff.
are you an alchemist?
It's a hobby.
Then what good is it at the cart?
It doesn't go bad.
Alright, well here's the chemical that you said you needed. I want my vial back, you cheap bastard.
All right. Roll another craft alchemy. And since you're there, you can roll to assist if you'd like.
Well, let's see if he needs the assistance first, shouldn't we?
It's a crit, so 33.
I don't think he needs help.
13, 14,
Take all the
15,
help
16,
I can
17, 18, 20.
Okay, so the two of you working together, you preserve. I think before you had 5.
Yeah.
So you have 9 now.
Yeah.
Okay, so your 9 vials of Troll's Blood will be preserved for 3 months.
3 months.
At that point, they'll have deteriorated and have gone bad.
Yeah.
Effectively, just solidified and coagulated to the point
Yeah.
where it's no longer being used.
And at
They
that
no
point,
longer
I just
regenerate.
misdeed
Okay.
At the moment, you can have,
because
even
I
if, like, the
understand
last
that
minute.
that's much more frightening than a freaking out Koba.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to try to make my way into there with everybody
Quite
else.
possible.
Like,
Okay.
there's just like a day left of it. If you unpreserve it and make it to where it can go, it's gonna snowball from there. Like, it's good to go, right?
Eventually.
Well, it will take a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of 2 days to grow, it'll probably take like a few
You're
weeks.
assuming
But if you want to
undo the
increase your strength
preservation.
and con,
'Cause
inject
it's
it
not-
directly in your
But
veins.
It's not that it's all or nothing. It's that the half-life of the blood has effectively gotten to the point where there's no active cells in it anymore.
Okay.
So, as a fellow
All right.
alchemist,
We're
you should
back
inject
to
some of the
Alec.
blood into the cobalt, the untreated.
During the time that they were all doing that, how many bottles would you say?
You can grab all 20 if you've got something to carry in
I
there.
got my backpack.
Yeah, you can
See
just.
if we can do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hopefully
don't
there's
troll me.
something really good in there when they.
Darwinism.
I'll come out. I look down the hall.
There's 2 doors at the end of the hall. You know that this door leads into the kitchen.
We led into another whole hall right over here. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a door that leads into the kitchen. You would have seen it from back in the kitchen. And this door, you don't know where it goes because there was not another doorway out here in the hallway.
Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing like I've been doing. Just listen, make sure there's nobody in there.
Okay. Through the door, you can faintly hear them talking, so it's echoing from deeper in the manor.
Slowly open.
Okay, so this looks to be like some type of smoking or lounging room. Some place where private conversation could be had away from any kind of major party. So you come into the room. There is a fireplace to the right that is cold. There's 3 tables that are made out of a much heavier wood, and you're not too sure why the hobgoblins didn't use it to help create the effigy, but they're still there. But the chairs are missing.
The chairs are missing.
There's 2 wall sconces along this wall, so kind of opposite the door you came in.
Okay.
They're not lit, so the room's fairly dark. But you can see that this shelf here is a bookshelf, and all the books have been like rifled through and flung off, all that kind of stuff. There are a couple open on the tables. So one of the goblins may have been fluent in some kind of literature and was trying to read.
Goblins read.
They're lawful evil. They're not orcs or like regular goblins. You do see that this table here has a chalice on it. So whoever was in here reading was drinking something.
That shows a little bit of intelligence.
Yeah.
It's just.
That's a little bit more than a hobgoblin. Okay. Can I see if it was been recently drank?
Sure. You go over to it.
Yeah. I'm
The
gonna
chalice
go-
is empty, but it is very ornately crafted. But you can tell that from some bottles that were set on the table, it was in use within the past week.
Okay.
There's like no dust collected on it or anything like that.
Okay. Is there like a wall that's separating this wall right here, or is this like a walkway into here?
It is a walkway. It is
Okay.
open. There's no door that separates it, so you can kind of see out there and see in the low light your party members kind of interacting with stuff. You can't see specifically who it is because you don't have low light vision, but you do see movement in the shadows.
You see a flailing torch, too.
Yeah, you would see one of the flailing torches.
Huh. Alright, well, if I have anything else, I'll check this door, but...
There is no door here. That's the fireplace.
Okay. Alright, well then, I remember the layout, and I remember there's a door over here. I don't know if I'm just gonna go check on it, so I will start making my way back
Okay.
into it.
Do you go through the kitchen?
No.
You go through the...
I'm pretty sure if that door led to the kitchen, then I was like, there's nothing in the kitchen that I'm gonna find.
Okay, so you check this room out and then come back.
Or there might... No, I wouldn't go in the kitchen to check for one thing.
Okay, so you come through here. When you come through this door, you can see that on your left there is another door that's been barricaded. They've taken some of the stoves and basically slid it over, so it's in front of this door here. You weren't able to see that it was a door from the far end of the kitchen due to the lack of light, but now that you're right next to it, you can see that there's a door here.
Alright, I'll end my turn there. Wait for
Okay.
them to do their thing.
Yahweh?
I can see
How many people has Ishtara cut free so far?
Enough to fight a kobold.
All of them.
Did you just crit?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Alright.
So, yes.
I'll go back to her and get my hunting knife back.
Okay.
She
So
gives
she
it
would
to
be
you.
over here at this
Much
point.
sink it. I fear.
And they're all.
When you guys don't attack the kobold, but instead just go to try to restrain it and like are shouting like, "Gauss, get out of here! You're scaring them." They're like, they put it together that he's with you and he's not.
That's a bad gouge.
Alright.
Bad gouge.
But you have the squirt bottle.
Yes, but it's acid.
Yeah.
Well, that seems a little bit.
Now that I've got my hunting knife back, I'm going to. What is.
Sharpen it.
The
That's a door.
That's a door? Alright. Well, I can't tell from here.
Not as much as the floor.
We are aware that he's just waiting to reveal that we're inside a giant.
I guess I'll just try
It's
and
you when you
play
came in the
mediator,
door.
get them to
So
calm
we-
down from any hysteria that they may or may not have.
Okay. I mean, they seem to be calming down once you guys don't take violent action against the kobold.
Okay. Can I, just for like expediency, can I get any other information from any of these other women?
What information are you looking for?
General timeline of how long some of them have been here and how many new faces they may or may not have seen, just to get like a body count of how many people have been here.
Okay. So, you gather that they're being forcibly sacrificed in front of the draconic statue. There doesn't necessarily seem to be any rhyme or reason to it, but there is some type of scaly hobgoblin that comes and goes however he pleases, and he's the one performing the rituals. They don't know why he leaves, and he wasn't there during the raids when they were taken, but every now and then he shows up. He'll usually smash open a bottle of wine from somewhere and have a few drinks, and then he performs some type of dark ritual to cast a blessing upon himself and his immediate bodyguards that travel with him. And they also tell you that like they don't understand anything about the magic, or they don't understand what they were saying, but they kind of figured that this place is important somehow, and that's why they leave people here to protect it. Because one of them is, I guess, like, we'll say she's the wife of a hunter or something, so she has a little bit more depth of knowledge when it would come to, I guess, like military tactics, any kind of like, so she's like, it doesn't make sense that they would just leave us here and then just leave some force to protect us. It would make more sense for hobgoblins to take us to their main home somewhere. And you would know that, like, hobgoblins, because they're lawful evil, they tend to actually have some type of societal hierarchy that is structured enough that they actually have cities, right? Although it's a very violent and brutal lifestyle, they still have enough control among them that they can have, an actual a much more secure dwelling than this somewhere. Yeah.
So, for all intents and purposes, this is a very it's not a run of the mill operation for society.
Yeah, it seems odd.
Okay, and I don't have any idea of what other individuals have come here other than that one aforementioned. We'll just call him super cool sorcery guy.
Yeah, so they don't really know what's going on. Occasionally, super cool sorcery guy will come in, sacrifice one or two of them. He makes them watch. It's a very, evil process.
Okay.
They're beaten and tortured a little bit beforehand, but they take the bodies somewhere outside.
Okay.
They don't know what happens to them out there.
Ditch or pit.
Well, you would remember the bodies outside in the courtyard.
Any information about the structure itself, like general building?
None of them lived here before.
Okay.
They have no idea what happened to the previous denizens.
All right. I will relay all this information back to my party members.
Okay, so you kind of help liaison that kind of talk. Since you're over here in this area, you would also notice that the slab on top of the hearth is a master-crafted piece of stone. It looks like instead of this being a covering to keep the fire controlled, this is almost like a cooking slab. So if you were to really heat up the hearth and get this stone nice and hot, you could almost treat the top of this stone as like a flat plate, or like a flat cooker.
Hot plate,
yeah. And so you could do live cooking out here for purposes of entertainment. You would also see that lining the far edges of the flat plate are recesses in the stone where you could put like a goblet or something to have like a mulled or spiced wine warmed on the hearth so that it doesn't go cold during the show.
Okay. This is a little bit of an odd question. Is there a bleedlet hole?
I need you to elaborate.
So some sacrificial tables will have holes or drainages that will
specifically to collect blood.
So specifically to collect blood.
The sacrificing is not being done here. Okay. It's being done in front of the statue.
Okay.
But you could go to investigate the statue.
I would love to investigate the statue.
Okay, roll a perception check.
Is it damage to them?
I mean, it just had a shit ton of acid dumped on it.
I got a 9.
Okay. There's so much blood and just weird craziness going on here. You don't see any specific container designed to capture blood.
Okay.
Obviously, the stonework itself was not constructed in such a way that it was intended to be used for this. So there's nothing in the stones and in the masonry that would depict what you're looking for. But you do see, like, some wine bottles have been brought up. They have, like, urns and jars and what were effectively at one point maybe chamber pots that were brought up here to carry various things.
Okay.
Alright. So after Yawa is Gals. You've avoided several restraints.
Burn it.
Vengeance awaits.
Okay.
Oh god.
Huzzah.
So he just threw some alchemist fire up on it, and then you throw the torch in.
Yep,
Yes.
I'm gonna shove that torch up there. I'm gonna get up. I want to attack the statue.
I heard shove,
Okay.
not throw.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, so
I don't have that skill.
Yes, but you do have hair.
okay, so on the inside of the
It's flammable.
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
statue, you can see that they've got like splintered spears and like old broken shields and stuff on the inside to give it mass.
Mhm.
All of that would effectively act as kindling if you were to really put the torch in there with the intent of setting on fire.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Roll a perception check.
Come on, gals.
20.
Nice.
So perception
Crit.
Lacks the fizz.
20.
Okay. So
Knowledge is knowledge.
you smell something familiar in the statue. It's one of your clutch. There's an egg in there somewhere.
Alright, I rip out the kiln. I start tearing apart the statue.
Okay.
Start tearing it apart.
So you see him, he basically just throws the torch away and starts like, as if he had a burrow speed, just start ripping into this thing.
What are you doing, man?
It's mine!
What are you doing? What's yours?
There's acid on there, man.
He doesn't care.
I don't care. It's mine!
Alright?
Yeah. Mins! I'm coming!
Whoa, wait,
Okay.
whoa.
This is to a level.
Alright.
No, we're
Roll another perception check.
I'm a little distracted. I get a 7.
Oh,
Well, you don't immediately find it. You know it's in here somewhere,
Mhm.
but you do keep looking for it.
He's acting zealous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Frantically
That's
so.
a word.
That is a word.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
All right, Van.
Mittens!
You just hear him.
Oh, I
Did you
said
just say
minions.
I'm gonna name the child Mittens.
Oh, you're gonna name
I
your
had a
Mittens
child
the
that was named Mittens. I knew it was there. I've named it. It was my egg.
Minions.
Would I know that I need to do anything else to ensure that these troll bodies remain corpses?
Oh, they're not regenerating anytime
Okay.
soon.
So once I've ascertained that, I picked up and I start making my way in, though
Okay.
I'm still exhausted, so I can only move at half speed.
Yeah. So you can. This door's been opened. It's the kitchen. There's a door over here that hasn't been investigated yet, and then there's a door over here that hasn't been opened up yet.
I'll, if I can, I'll check that door that hasn't been opened.
Yeah.
Is it unlocked?
It is.
Okay.
So you can go inside. We're getting more than just one round for the exploration. So you
Yeah.
can go in. You can see that this is basically the guest rooms. It's a long hallway where you can see that there are rooms that are basically embedded along the opposite wall.
Like an internal barracks almost.
Yeah.
Just multiple.
Yeah, but the rooms are more lavish than just
Oh.
like a barracks. You would see that all the doors have basically been broken off their hinges, so you can see inside. Some of the hobgoblins were staying in there, so you can see that there's like some bedrolls and furs have been thrown out on the floor. It's inside and away from the sun during the day, so they would be lounging in there if
Yeah,
they
good place
weren't
to-
mid-fight. Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright, just some rooms. Really tired. And then I'll peek around the corner and seeing all this going on, be like, they got this. I'm gonna-
Yeah, you would see that. You would also be able to see down into the wine racks
I'm like,
here.
yeah, it's good, but I'm gonna go in the rooms and lay down.
All
Because
right.
I'm still exhausted, so.
Yeah, so you start moving into some of the
Adrenaline's
rooms.
starting to wear off. It's like, I need to sit for a moment.
Does anyone have any orange slices?
Oh God.
And I'll just yell out, going, if sun happens, wake me up. I got a cat nap or
I
something.
mean, there's always
Yeah.
something.
I was gonna say, is something not happening?
Yeah,
You guys got it, but if you need me, wake me
All
up.
you're
All right.
hearing is mittens.
Issa.
These poor women. They're just...
I don't know.
no,
What
do with this?
What is even going on now?
Oh man.
I should have stayed in community college.
I kind of just want to sit back and watch the show because it looks pretty entertaining.
Just sit on the dog, use it as a chair. Go, what the fuck's happening?
Well, the stone, there is a small fire in the hearth, but the stone itself isn't hot. Like, you could sit on the stone if you wanted or anything like that.
Oh yeah, I was gonna sit like right here, no Asher.
Yeah.
Yep, getting hotter.
Yeah, so you just kind of casually look around. You would be able to look back in here and see the same room that Alec was investigating, some kind of like private smoking lounging room set off to the side of the main entertainment area. Okay. Grendir.
I would like, because I'm right beside the statue, I'd like to ask him what he's looking for.
My mittens! Help me, you heretic!
You know, we've got gloves, man.
I take slight offense, but I'll help look for something that doesn't look like wood and metal.
All right. Roll a perception check.
It's in the eye.
Perception. 13.
Okay, so it just looks like the inside of the statue's filled with like broken spears and shields, and if there was any type of like seat covering on stuff, like a feathered pillow or anything like that, that's all been ripped open and stuffed inside the statue.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't see anything really. The acid is starting to eat through a lot of it, though.
Good shit.
I guess I'll just start.
Tear it
I
down.
have no idea what he's looking for. I guess I'll just start trying to help tear down the statue.
All right.
Because I mean, I think that's what he's doing.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna
Make a
start
strength check.
ripping apart.
Oof.
10.
10. So the main structure of the statue is, although not very well crafted, is very sturdy and rigid. So there's only a couple of pieces you managed to break off, but then once you do, you start reaching inside to like, shovel some stuff out by the handful.
Yeah.
So it's structurally sound, but it looks like shit.
We shall destroy
It looks like
We will recover my
it looks like the horse from the movie Troy.
Surely.
Like you can tell it's
Oh.
a horse, but there are definitely some like jagged points where you're like, that's not anatomically
That
correct.
is, that's. They definitely skipped. They cut some
Yeah.
corners here,
Yeah.
and not the right ones.
All right. So I was going to do Mr. X.
I'm gonna make my way into the room. Is it still dark?
It's low light, so you're not able to depict each individual person.
Then that hearth, if I can see that in the center, it's like boom, cast light.
Okay, so you cast light on the hearth. Do you move to it? Or do you just...
Yeah, I can cast at distance, but I'm gonna move into it because that's my next thing. I'm gonna see these two digging into a flaming sculpture, and be like, you know what? That dude could use some resistance. So, wow. These are all cantrips.
Yeah. All right, so you move in.
So you get a +1, on saving throws and shit.
Yeah, in case you need to reflex save out of a falling statue.
Or a burning acid,
No.
fiery.
I threw the thing away.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
we haven't
statue's
been
not
on
on
fire
torch.
yet.
The statue's not on fire. The torch is out here on the
Yeah.
floor.
Yes.
On torch.
I do have flint and steel for this exact
Alright.
occasion.
And then in one last bit of movement, go. Ladies. Charisma character, gotta do it.
Okay.
It's by law.
All right, we're back to Alec.
They look at you horrified.
I see a door that's been barred.
No, it's been barricaded. They basically just took like a big upright oven and moved it in front of the door.
Found a bunch of women who were in the bondage.
Try and shove it out of the way.
Well, I
Okay,
think
you
they're
do so
into
easily.
it. They were just.
Oh,
It,
okay.
it's very
They
loud
haven't
and it
left
kind of
yet.
like clanks and tumbles a little bit, scratches across the
I
floor.
haven't heard any of them say
But
no.
you roll. Do you have knowledge engineering?
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
Maimed at best.
That's a 12.
Okay, so you deduce that since this leads a little like deeper into the manor, but it is fairly close to the main entrance, the hobgoblins barricaded it with something loud so that in case they didn't notice something sneak through the front door, they would hear it trying to move deeper into the
Okay.
building. So you easily move the oven out of the way, it's just loud and clanky.
Okay.
And then the door's on the other side.
I'll open it.
Okay, so you open the door. On the inside, you can see that this would have been the actual barracks room for guards, not welcomed guests. So there are effectively several small blinds that are set up in the room in such a way that each guard would have some type of private quarter, like a small 5 foot by 5 foot little like changing area plus a bed and stuff. In the center of the room, you can see that there's a large weapon rack and some armor racks, and you'll also find 2 large solid chests in the room that haven't been moved or broken apart.
You mean 10?
I'll
because
throw up
you made it
detect
smaller.
magic.
Huh?
I'll throw up detect magic real quick.
None of it's magic.
Nothing. No, I don't get any magic anywhere in the
No.
room. Okay. I'll check the chest and see if are they openable.
Yeah. So it looks like they're embedded into the stone floor. Probably a reason why they weren't broken up and brought out to be brought to the statue. But when you open this one, you can find that any kind of precious metal or any kind of object of significance that a captive would have been worn has been thrown in here. So there's some like small copper bands that are maybe wedding bands, some low-level jewelry.
Any paperwork?
No.
Important paperwork?
No, this would be like anything shiny that the hobgoblins found and didn't want to break up amongst themselves.
Okay. I'll give the room a good once-over.
Okay, the armor racks are effectively bare, but they're also embedded into the floor. The weapon racks have some elven curved blades on them. That's something that hobgoblins wouldn't be proficient in, and it's an exotic weapon.
Okay.
They are masterwork quality, though, so in total you would find 17 of them. And each of them would be worth probably about 300 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Because it's a masterwork weapon.
How much do they weigh each?
Elven curved blade, I think, is like 7 pounds.
I can't carry all that. I already
Not
got 20
right
bottles of
this
fucking
second.
I
wine.
will say though, we can load them into the
I was
carts.
gonna say, yeah.
Alright, I'll mark that in my head.
Come back for it later.
Well, I'll let them know.
And
Come
mark
back
on your
for
sheet
it.
to remember what he just told us.
17, you said, right?
Yeah, 17 masterwork elven curved
Also-
blades.
And let me find know if you find any.
You would be
pocket
proficient
watches.
with one because you're innately proficient with anything with the word elven in the name.
Pocket watches?
Pocket watch.
Pocket watch her.
Okay. So
Make
that was
ingestion
the-
more subtle. Let me check the tag.
It's time for
I've all but given up. Well, actually, I'm just gonna give up on trying to reason with our kobold friend over here. So I'm gonna go check that door out.
Okay.
Next to the hostages. Check this trap.
Okay.
I'm just watching.
17.
Reasonable guys. Take reasonable guys trying to part to about statue of remains.
I register.
Because you guys
as
don't have a
name,
rogue in the
that's about
party,
it.
I'll be.
But he has no negative to
Lenient.
stealth.
Oh,
I'm not-
You can.
No.
I'm
No,
not.
I'm-
I'm not
I'm
gonna
flat on
innately
stealth.
do something that you guys
What was
cannot
the point of
overcome,
not discussing our classes beforehand?
I'm.
so that
that
you
we
don't
make a
tailor the
rogue just
group.
because we
Oh,
needed
so
to.
because
Yeah.
we don't have a fucking thing, you're gonna make it easy.
So
for us?
canonically, since we don't have a rogue, I mean,
So
Like,
let me
like
let me
you want
finish
to
what I was
fight?
gonna say.
I was being a dick.
my
Yeah, so
my history isn't with traps. It's more so with people waiting for ambushing,
Yeah.
like chasing convicts. And
Yeah.
stuff.
So
So I'd be more concerned with that, not traps.
right. So
So I
You-
open the door.
I thought
You-
you
the-
were gonna
the
take
door
the
does not
glove and
open.
then go over
It does
and
not
slap
open.
him.
the door is locked.
The door is locked.
That's where we get the call.
I do have a master key.
Yes. What caliber is it?
50.
50. I will.
Actually, I think
Mine's
those
only good
muskets
at
were like
30
70.
I'm gonna shoot the door.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot the door handle.
So
Didn't you take
Right.
keys off of somebody? Or was
yeah,
that
just
this
don't
one?
roll a misfire.
All that.
Somebody.
4.
Okay, so
So
Cool.
incapable of missing, you basically point bring the muzzle up to the keyhole.
You're gonna
You-
scare all the women.
Fire the musket inside an echoey chamber.
Alright.
Everyone is slightly alerted, but and it hurts.
The
And the door basically gets
Slightly
blown into the
alerted?
off its hinges. Make a reflex save. Well, I was sleeping.
That's gonna be a 12.
Okay, so when the door basically gets pushed inward from you forcibly destroying the lock, roll me 4d6.
46 dudes.
46 damage.
Shitty damage. You're looking.
Oh, I thought you were having me roll luck. I was like, that's really bad luck.
Oh no, it's damage.
Dear Lord, I was
So you take 7 fire damage.
7 fire. Fire.
So there was
Any damage is good damage.
after you shot the musket, there was some type of secondary magical explosion, like
Okay.
like
Like there was
explosive runes on
Okay.
the door.
Now that has been handily dealt with.
So you can see there is a 20-foot long hallway.
Okay.
The hallway
He's
is
gonna pull
lined with ornately decorated tapestries. Each one
It's
is
caught on
very
fire.
large. They're not on fire. Magical fire doesn't consume something unless it's fireball.
He just
But
shot the-
are you done? Each one goes all the way to the ceiling, so it's about 20 feet
I
tall.
remember the Lost Mountain Dew.
And at the other end, you can see there is a door.
Okay.
Never
I clock those tapestries and make my way straight to the door.
Okay.
You did.
It's gonna take some time to like get up there and bring them down if you're trying to take them.
I'm going straight to the door.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I just mentally clocked them.
Okay, yeah. So you get to the door.
Attempt to open this door.
This door is unlocked. Do you open it?
I will.
Look at it carefully to make sure there's no runes on
Let
I'm not a magic user, so I wouldn't know about this sort of stuff. I will just swing the door wide open.
All right, make a reflex save.
Awesome.
There you go.
16.
I'm just watching this all
Okay.
happen down the hall.
Roll 46 again.
No, he gets half.
Oh no.
Ooh, 15.
15.
You take 15 fire damage.
Alright, Yamanaka is knocked out.
Okay.
Unconscious.
And we have no idea.
Does
I
he
mean, you
fly
did
out
just
of the
hear
hallway?
3 explosions.
Yeah, but I mean, he could have been shooting.
Well, I can see it. We can actually
I don't
see
know
him
how good
here
you are.
over here. So we have a line
If
of
you
sight
think
on the
that's
wall.
what I'm looking at, it's like, hey,
Playing
there's a
like
room
Harry
full of
Potter.
women. I'm looking
Hey,
at.
that's fine. Goss. Perception check. I'll let you make 3.
That's a 2.
He sees nothing.
That's a 4.
He hears nothing.
That is better.
He smells something.
Key nose.
Alright.
Takes it.
15.
Okay, so at this point, you've searched enough of the statue between you and Grendir's help. In the throat of the dragon is where your egg is being held.
My boy!
All right.
Oh my god, he's choking the dragon!
Roll a strength check. I will give you a situational +6 due to your frenzied parental instinct.
19.
Okay.
Wow.
Is that with the 6?
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's like the
you
mother lifting
basically,
the car.
from the inside of the statue, worm your way up into the throat and then just explode a portion of it outward, and you find the remains of one of your eggs.
The
Remains.
Oh no.
So roll a. Do you have ranks in heal?
No.
Okay.
I
Do
have
you
men.
then go ahead and roll knowledge arcana?
I know someone who has ranks in heal.
I'm right next to you.
Unfortunately, it's his turn, guys.
Yeah, good point.
I think it's not too far.
Hand.
Okay, so
Never.
this is what you would know, and this would be common knowledge for dragons. Your eggs were stolen from you for a reason. The last thing you remember is your mate scooping them up and flying away. So somewhere between your capturing and smallying?
Smallification.
Yeah, smallification. The egg has wound up here. It has been the focal point of whatever kind of dark magic is going on with the statue. You would know that they're trying to corrupt the egg in such a way as to make the one inside evil innately, as you are not, and neither would your kin.
He isn't?
You think that some type of rejection or some type of unworthiness from the hobgoblins has caused the egg to become rancid. and it is now effectively turned to a rotten, pustulant state.
I regret nothing, my boy, my minions. I will get cleric. They will cast resurrection. You will be saved.
Yeah.
Still offer men.
Okay. Oh. All right.
So are you weeping over there in the corner now?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm mentally broken.
Do you know what a kobold crying looks like?
We're
Could
about
be
to
like
find out.
Soon.
I'll store the rancid egg in my sack. What's up?
Freezing. All right.
There's some wine in the other room.
All right, Van.
Upon hearing the multiple explosions, I was just about to fall asleep. I jump up, run out, arrow drawn on the bow, just into the main room.
Where are they? Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're in the trees, man.
Look around going, what happened? Who's here? What's going on? Now a new wave of adrenaline pumping through me.
We're nowhere near you.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I went the other way, but
Well, yeah, you come running out the door instinctually looking to the courtyard.
yeah.
And then you realize, oh, everybody's still back there. So you can move back. You would see smoke coming from over here. Yeah.
I see smoke. I see women huddling. I see him crying. Yes.
Yeah, you would see him
You
crying.
see a crying kobold.
You would see lots of things.
Is he ugly crying?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh
It's-
man,
He's
that's
sort of
bad.
ugly.
I just go. What's going on? As I kind of, so I don't release the arrow by accident.
Yeah. Alright. Well, they can bring you up to speed on their turns.
I mean, if I'm still at half speed, so the other part's I can get.
Yes, everyone, bring him up to speed.
Alright, Issa.
I hear him say that. I turn to him and I'm like, well, seems our kobold went crazy. I'm not sure what he's saying.
Crazier.
He's now crying, and I'm assuming that is a family member
Yeah, you guys
Of
would
some
see him,
sort?
like,
in his arms.
cradle the egg for a second.
That's
And then
terrible.
our gunslinger over there decided to bust into that thing, and red runes went off, I would imagine, as a secondary explosion to him firing his weapon.
Our fighter, huh? Is he alive?
And- Well, I see him laying down in the hallway. I was about
He's
to go check
twitching.
it out. So, I go. I said I was about to make my way
that's
over
a good
there.
idea. I'm gonna go down there
Alright.
now.
So does Asher follow?
He'll stand
I mean,
wherever those
I'm
two
sure
dots
he's
are
strong
right
enough
out
to
in front
drag
of
a
it.
dead body.
I'm pretty sure he's eyeballing that egg going, that would be pretty tasty.
Alright, so you can do a heal check on the gunslinger.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god,
24.
Alright, you stabilize the unconscious gunslinger.
Hey, look, you're
The door's open, though. And on the inside, you can see that there is a lavishly decorated bedroom with a very foul smell coming from it.
Oh, please just leave me there.
That's probably what knocked you out.
Make a
not the
fortitude
explosion. It's the smell.
It's just the smell.
I'm fine.
Dead person.
I swear that's not me.
Dead person in a close space.
12.
Alright, you become sickened.
Oh, good.
No.
You
Thanks
are-
for that,
Mine's
Jamie.
too.
You are compelled to not go in there
I am
because of the stench. But
I'm
you can
already
drag
sickened.
you can drag your comrade out
Hey.
of the sickening.
Can I make
Sick.
Can I make a perception check since I'm now conscious?
You're not conscious,
Sure,
you're stable.
but first, before you do that, as you take that first breath of becoming conscious, make a fortitude save.
That's a natural one.
You become sickened,
And thus
and
unconscious
you
again.
basically take a nice deep inhale in, and what you at first thought was going to be the sweet smell of expended sulfur is actually a decomposing body in an enclosed space.
Oh god. I'm.
You're just,
It's gonna take weeks to clean that out.
So can I make a perception check then?
yeah, she's dragging you away.
-2 automatically on that as well.
9 minus 2 is 7.
I figured out a way to
plus
make
6 is 13.
Okay, where were you percepting?
Just straight in because I can't.
So
stick my head in.
that in that room was very lavish decorations. You can see that there's some fecal matter by the door. And you can see a very like a mastercrafted, grand mastercrafted level, like bedspread, armoire, end tables, that kind of stuff.
You said Grand Mastercrafted for a second, and you started to tease my affiliation with weapons.
Yeah.
And then you said bed, and I got sad.
I'm sorry.
Well, if you took anything, you'd have a Grandmaster weapon. Throw it.
Alright.
As I pull him out, I'm like, do not go in there.
Do not.
It wasn't me, I swear.
Alright, Grendir.
I'm actually, the statue is pretty much mostly destroyed, correct?
Yes, however, you can still kind of get the feeling you haven't done enough.
Where's the torch you threw?
You could easily go get it and then, like, throw it in there. Alright, so...
Is that enough to, like...
I would say you should probably confer with him to make sure he got everything out of there that anyone needed.
Well, I think he's sobbing and crying, and you know it's kind of hard to interrupt that. And
He's
I
having a
really, really want their statue gone. So
Really
I'll pat him
inconsiderate.
on the back like as I walk by.
Suck it up, pussy. Get out of my way.
It'll be all right.
It's really inconsiderate of you to cry.
I'm going to
like that
burn
for
this
him.
now.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's
And
not
I'm gonna
edible.
just,
You're fine, man.
Stick it into the.
So, roll a will save as everybody's joking about your dead child in front of you.
I'm not joking. I don't know why he's crying.
Well, I rolled a 2.
Oh no!
Alright, so,
Sorry.
I'm just not.
I'm not there.
I
I
was
wasn't
trying to be
joking out
comforting,
loud.
like you
No,
said.
no.
I'm not there. I couldn't talk about
So-
it. I had no idea what's going on.
I'm
Just
all
not
Ernest thought he was
conscious,
upset
yelling
that he
at
couldn't
boy,
eat it.
doesn't know
I've
what's
got
going
this
on.
subconscious list.
yeah. There's a couple names on it.
Couple names,
You just
gonna
made
add
the
it
list.
onto it.
Just know that the DM has now also noted the existence of said names
And said list.
and said list.
Canon.
1, 2, 3,
Well, I just got consciousness back.
Alright.
4.
I'm
So,
just saying. It's
so
not
yeah,
edible,
you see him
I
basically
remember now.
start to torch the whole statue. So you jump out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was he in it?
Yes,
I
he
thought-
was in the throat part.
I thought he pounded out of it.
I did.
But he did not dismount.
Oh.
He just kind of like created
Then I
an
would-
opening.
It's
for him
like
to-
this will get him.
Then I would at least
Right.
tell him, hey, I'm sorry, but
Talk.
I'm going to destroy this now.
Yeah.
We must destroy the evil.
Okay.
Indeed.
My boy.
So, yeah, you throw the torch in there, and it starts to get everything catched and going fairly quick. All the material was dry, seasoned, out of the elements, and a lot of it was also effectively kindling.
Can I do one last thing?
Sure.
I would just like to go to the group of women and.
Which one?
Left side or right side?
They're still in there.
Oh
Yeah,
wait, have we
they haven't
released
moved.
all?
They are all free and are just like waiting
Yeah.
to see what you guys
I'm
do.
going to, is there any like, because we have that big is there any like cups or anything around, like on the ground or anything?
There are several smashed open like wine bottles and stuff, and there are some water skins that the hobgoblins had.
I'm going to use the cantrip
Yeah,
crate
walk
water
me out.
and just fill a couple and start handing them out because obviously.
Okay,
they-
so you start trying to provide for them.
Yeah.
All right. So you start doing that,
The only thing we've done so far is give them a knife.
Mr. X.
Oh, no, he took that back.
Well,
Oh.
seeing him crying over this clearly damaged egg just makes me go, maybe help that dude out. Mend. And then, knowing full well I'm about to lose XP for this, I look over at that group of ladies and I ask them, so, you girls hang out here ritualistic?
All right, roll a charisma check.
Well then.
Negative 30.
14 on the die. I got a pretty good charisma,
I
so
feel like
that's
she does
18.
negative.
Total charisma check.
Yeah, they didn't find that funny, and they're kind of disgusted by the comment. But they're like, no.
Well, don't beat yourselves up about it.
Okay.
Wow, the first positive interaction they've had with any individual in the last few days.
You
and
call that
one of-
positive?
I mean, I would like to think I had a positive.
Oh, what?
with them.
You think they're still pretty sore about it?
I swear to fucking
See, Dylan was so excited. Like, no one's playing a bard. This would be great. I don't have to worry about any of that.
Charisma casters.
I hate all of you.
And then everyone's
nothing
pretty much playing a
wrong.
bard.
All right.
You
Alex.
shot at doors.
The door shut back.
Me?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay,
How
after
many
hearing
spell
all
slots
that,
you got?
boom, boom,
Any?
boom. Head out, because I can see there's a little
Three.
walkway right here.
I've got
He
one.
Yeah.
may
Alright, go out there and be
something
like, what the
over
fuck?
here.
Jesus Christ, see him getting woke
Dragged
up
out.
and dragged back,
Knock
seeing him
himself
crying
unconscious.
over an egg,
I stabilized
seeing him like
I can't
tearing
give him
down
that
that
much.
and that. I'm
Bring
like,
him over
what
for
the
his
hell?
healing.
All these fucking survivors are clearly fine. They're just standing around looking like idiots. Like, okay, you guys that way, go, get out. Why are you standing around?
How are they supposed to get anywhere?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not tied up, but they're
I
Dude, what do
mean,
they want us to do? Fucking
There-
leave
there is
them
a
out?
wild man with
Go
a
out the
bow
front
at the
door.
front.
There's a
Give him
road
some-
that way. Get the fuck out of
And
here.
have
I
him
mean, I don't know. I
water
mean,
H2O.
I don't know what else we're gonna do with them. If you want to give them food for the trip,
Yeah, they're gonna start.
actually
Yeah,
wait
it's not
for
like
us.
they're gonna ransack our cart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, that's why. Wait a minute.
Well, just hang out
You
and
will
take
wait
Carts
for
full of
us.
food and
Actually.
water?
Have them hang
And,
out here
um,
for a minute. Let's just relax.
I look over there. I look into the door. What do I see in there? It's
in here.
expensive.
Yeah.
I tell them about the two
Do it.
tapestries.
Do it. You're technically still unconscious. You're just not like
Dying.
dying.
Okay, they're
Yeah.
And I don't
okay.
tell them that.
Yeah, you're
Feel
taking
bad
help
for him
actions. Like you can be
because
like,
he's
yeah,
reacting over
tapestries.
that really bad.
You
I'm gonna
see
talk to
me
him about
like
that
trying
later.
not to throw up.
You're. I'll start heading into the room.
This one.
Yep.
All right.
If you're into that sort
I
of
say don't
Make a
go
fortitude
in there.
Now he knows why.
I hear that and I smell that. Natural 20.
Jesus fucking.
A natural 20 automatically passes a save.
Okay.
So
natural 20.
you fight the in this edition.
Oh, okay.
Not in
We'd be like, that's completely new to me.
Yeah. Natural 1 always fails. Natural 20 always
Start
succeeds.
You can crit on skill
prestidigitation,
checks. Got
the
it.
smell, get the shit out.
Or
Like, oh,
save-
we're-
Okay,
Save.
so you're actually able to get all the way inside. I'll put you
Okay.
here at the opening.
Okay.
So the first thing you notice is that lining kind of like by the door and on this side of the room is basically a large collection of feces. They didn't have a bathroom in here, but you do see over in this corner, actually I'll mark it with a separate color.
The comforter was used for TV.
Over here by this torch, there is a body of what at one point was some type of elven humanoid, probably whoever owned this place, who has died of starvation. Totally emaciated, slumped up against the wall.
How decayed?
Do you have ranks and heal?
I don't have ranks in it, but I do have. I am trained in it.
So it's class
Wait,
skill.
No, wait, never mind. I don't. I just have my ability modifier.
Okay.
Say.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a heal check to determine.
16.
So he's been dead probably about 6 months.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Good holding.
But because there isn't like access to carrion based
He's just been
creatures in
sitting
here, he's just been sitting in here in it.
Okay. And
Right? There aren't even flies and maggots in the body.
It's just his own juices. All
Yeah,
just
yeah, and
everything.
collecting
Okay.
because the doors were sealed to a point where not even fly larvae could come in, and the smell is just absolutely just appalling.
Start like I said. I mean, it's probably not gonna do fucking anything. But
It would take
around my nose just so I don't have to smell it.
okay, yeah, it would probably take an hour worth of prestidigitating to clean the whole room.
Can I just keep it around my nose so I don't smell it at the moment?
I will allow, yeah, it will give you a bonus to your fortitude save, but it will not totally negate the effect.
Okay.
But what you would see are a collection of tomes lining this wall, like a private collection. They look totally untouched. You would also see a couple display cases here along this wall.
Jackpot.
This one has a dagger in it,
Told you.
and this one has an elven curved blade in it. This one has a bow, and the one next to it has what looks to be like a two-handed longsword. So they're all martial weapons.
All right, everybody.
How long does
find some nice things in here? I'm gonna go through the tomes. I mean, they're not gonna help him out anymore.
How long
Not
did
even
your
like-
detect magic stay up?
Detect magic, a couple minutes.
Will that
Is
still
anything
be-
going off in here with my detect magic? Thank you for reminding me on that.
Yes, all 4 of those weapons are magic.
All right, all 4. Are any of the tomes lighting up?
2 of the tomes are lighting up.
2 of the tomes lighting up. Okay. I will take those 2 tomes, put them in my bag,
Okay.
and then just go over the. Is there anything like the books? Just go over the books, other than the 2 ones that I put away in my.
Okay, so you can't read Elven, so you have absolutely no idea what the titles of these are.
Alright, I'll send people after these later.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, fuck it. Comp languages. I'll cast comp languages.
Okay. So immediately what you notice is that all of these books seem to be related to the position of stars. So this is astromancy and books on astromancy. It's a very, very rare school of magic. You would have heard about it somewhere. You don't know where this memory is coming from.
I don't know.
I just know about astromancy.
You just know something about astromancy. You would know that astromancy draws its power from the cosmos. A lot of interplanar magic is tied to astromancy. It's very weak when it comes to combat. And it's not often practiced by creatures with a short lifespan. And by short, I mean anything shorter than a dwarf's.
Yeah,
like
that's
this
what I'm
is almost
Anything under
exclusive to like high elves, wild elves, and creatures with lifespans that last in the thousands of years, or are pseudo-immortal, where they can only be killed when slain in battle.
So really, it ends at like Goliath's humans or Chinese humans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's only tall creatures got.
So, you would also tell that this creature in here was an elf. The
You got the
books are, from what you can tell, they're not journal entries, but they are like catalog of astromantic events by year. So these are his personal recordings over centuries, by like logging the positions and rotations of the heavens, tracking constellations. You would also know that this would require a specialized laboratory. This would also require some very, very expensive and large mechanical objects in order to view and track.
Orreries,
Um,
astrolabes, stuff like that.
yeah, telescopes, that kind of stuff. But you haven't found any evidence of that inside the manor
Okay.
yet.
This could have possibly any traces of the sword in it, so we gotta take this shit, and I don't want to leave these here by chance. I'll put those in the bag.
So this would be like 300 pounds worth of books.
Those are my-
You're effectively
we're
carrying
taking
like
trips.
50 textbooks.
We're taking trips.
Check
We need
the
to these.
woods.
You're not in there.
Some of the stuff,
Yeah, you're not in there.
some of this, like outwardly, like some of the stuff we're just gonna end up
Two
having to
put in
leave
his
behind
bag
because
or
we
two.
have a set amount
You
of
don't
weight.
leave knowledge behind.
He's not in there.
3,000
Anyway.
pounds. We're good.
It's
How
okay.
much?
You're in there alone. What are you
3,000.
doing?
3,000 pounds.
We're good.
Each cart.
Well, that's also limited by volume because
So yeah,
I will throw away some of my food for these books. It'll be fine. This
We also
is
have the
more
wine
important.
bottles and all the weapons.
I'll throw away the fucking wine bottle and the food.
If you
Drink
call
the
me
wine
over there, I'll
bottles.
help you carry those weapons out.
I will help
Yeah.
him do that.
So,
anyway. As I was gonna say, I was
are
actually
you
going to the
relaying
next
any of
thing.
this information?
I'm telling everybody, hey, get
Okay.
your asses in here. There's some things that you guys can fucking use to make yourselves better. There's also a bunch of information in here. It looks like
Okay. So as you turn to go tell them the information, you're able to read the inscriptions on the display cases,
oh, okay, cool.
and these look like they effectively say, "My first kill, my first sword, my first gift." Like these are the things that he was
okay.
first tied to and kept as like a personal
I
heirloom.
like that.
Is there any pictures of him that I could possibly say was him?
So,
maybe a name or anything, so I could picture
The
who this
tapestries
belongs to?
leading into the room,
Uh-huh.
you would remember they all depicted some type of elf. And so you can put the two together that those were
Oh,
probably
yeah.
of him.
Okay. Does it have a name or anything on it?
They do not.
Title? No,
No.
no titles or anything.
Not the tapestries.
Okay. I took long enough. That took me forever.
Okay.
That's my shit.
It was a lot of information because you were the
Yeah.
only one to get into that room so far.
No worries.
Yahweh.
I am currently unconscious.
Correct.
Yeah, but you're alive.
Keep working on it,
You're
man.
alive.
You'll get
Mouse.
Oh,
and then you-
You're fine, bud.
My boy.
Eventually someone will.
I pull out my crossbow.
Yeah, eventually.
Who did it? I start looking for the elves. Are there elves amongst the women? I start looking for the elves.
Okay.
They can probably understand language. Who is responsible?
How are you speaking? Like, what language are you speaking right now?
Draconic.
Draconic.
Because that's why I'm looking for elves. They're probably intelligent enough to understand me.
Okay, so one of the elves comes forward. She's mature, so she was probably taken along the. She was probably before this some type of councilwoman or advisor who was traveling along the roads to go through different cities. She asks in Draconic what was in the statue.
My boy, Mittens. I'll pat to my sack that I'm now carrying the remains of my son.
Okay.
My boy.
She kind of she tears up and she goes, I was worried that's what they were trying to do. My condolences.
Who is responsible? About.
I had heard rumors along the roads of raiders coming down from the mountains, and I was hoping my bodyguard would be able to defend me in such a way that I could get to Bard's Gate, but apparently not. We had heard of a war band of hobgoblins attacking travelers. While I was here, I learned the hobgoblin thing that comes and goes. The others would refer to him as Varrock. I believe he is the one that did this.
A name. Varrock.
Yeah.
That's
She
close to Malak. Yeah, from before.
she would continue to explain that she had been there for a long time. For whatever reason, she hadn't been brought up to the altar. Varrock, whenever he comes in, he basically just like randomly picks one and begins the ritual process. She does know that they keep the bodies nearby because the ritual is done in Draconic, and it's an offering to Tiamat so that any young chromatic dragons near the valley can come and feed on the corpses. So you would know that dragons have an incredible perception. They have excellent sight. They have excellent smell. They're able to hunt from several hundred feet in the air and all around them. So along the mountainside, having basically like a buffet like that set out would attract a lot of different magical creatures, but the ritual makes it so that only dragons are able to perceive the carrion, and they can come and go as they please to basically feed on the dead.
What does he look like?
He's some type of abomination. He has scales and horns like a black dragon, but yet he moves and commands the hobgoblin as one of their own. He has a scar here along his neck, and it kind of like goes up onto his chin where it looks like some large creature almost killed him and like raked him with a dewclaw or something. And that's, other than his demeanor and his odd appearance, that's the only way that she can tell that's him.
By my honor, as Gauss, Cabot, Slayer of Cabot, he will die.
So when you say that, she also tells you that in his echelon, there are kobolds that follow him around. And she thinks it's odd because usually those two like species don't interact that much, but in this case, they are. And they helped him build the statue, she thinks. Like some type of like draconic cleric or something, worshippers of Tiamat.
Because
Okay.
a heretical pact has been made between kobolds and hobgoblins. I shall tell you this because you have been so helpful to me, kobold. No,
Must he hatched your
they
boys.
will all die horribly, screaming kobold.
I dig it. Cool.
Unless those are
She
your
says
hatched
that.
boys.
She says I dig it.
Yeah.
She's like,
I'm about that.
It's like getting it's like getting interviewed and then you just ending it with him just ending it with like a dope.
Yeah, so she starts like, I guess, trying to find some kind of weaponry or anything. She says that she's going to start going back to Bard's Gate. If now that at least these hunters have been quelled, it may be safe along the road for a few days.
Warn the others, kobold.
Okay, so
don't touch your car.
yeah,
Human.
she starts to gather the other captives. Van, do you speak Draconic?
Not yet.
All right,
One day.
you wouldn't know what they just.
I don't know. I
discussed.
just see an emotional conversation. Not sure what, but it's like, all right.
Ramblings of a madman.
I saw him get dragged out. I hear him yelling out that there's stuff in there for us to use. And I'm like, all right. I'll proceed over there, but
To here?
yeah, I'll try. I mean, I'm still exhausted. So
I mean, we can basically say that your whole exploration turn is getting to the room, and
sure. Would I get a whiff of?
yeah, it's you would start to smell now that both of the doors have been opened and they've been open for a little bit. You would start to smell the inside, but you're not at a point where you
Make a
need to
save.
make a save.
Alec, what are you seeing there?
Down.
there's A dead elf. Looks like he starved himself.
Explains the
But
stench.
he packed himself into this room. He barricaded himself with the traps that he killed himself with. He's got a lot of books in here chronicling the entire time for the past couple thousand years. Probably, it's going to take time to look in it, but maybe something with a sword in there. He's also got some weapons in here. It looks like as he was growing up, like his first kill, his first birthday, shit like that, people gave him things, so he kept it. I haven't really checked the room if there's any hidden areas or like a safe or anything yet,
Mhm.
but so just letting you guys know. There's
Were they
some shit
just
in here.
Mundane weapons, or
No, they were magical. They have magical hours.
he's not using them, so it would be handy.
Anyway, and I'll turn. Oh, it's not my turn.
Okay, so yeah, so you relay that information to him. That was Van. Issa,
What is Sicken doing?
-2 to all d20s.
I'll attempt to go back in there to check it out, since he
Okay.
said it was elven stuff.
Okay.
I'll cover my face with something to try and block some of the smell. but-
Seeing how it affected her, I'll try to like help out with a little prestidigitation.
Okay.
Oh, I brag.
Wait, no.
Roll a fortitude
never
save.
mind. I don't do that. I like.
Five.
It wanted to.
Eh.
Okay, so you become sickened, but you're not nauseated. So you can go into the room for this exploration initiative, but you will be compelled to leave after a brief search. If you forcibly stay in the room for longer than that, you will become nauseated and will basically be spending your turns vomiting until you get somewhere where you're not in a state to do that. All right? So you move into the room, you start to gag, you maybe even puke once, but it is not forcing, you are not forced out of the room by the smell. You would see along this wall here the 4 display cases: dagger, elven curved blade, longbow, two-handed sword. I'm sorry. One-handed longsword, elven curved blade, longbow, two-handed sword.
You had
You
it
said
right
the
there.
dagger was
Dagger.
first. You said
It was
dagger the
dagger?
first time?
Was
You
it?
did say dagger.
Yeah, I read it down.
I know, 'cause it's the only one of those
Elven
weapons I was
curved
interested
sword.
in.
Longbow?
Bow, and then two-handed longsword.
Okay. All along this wall, a series of tomes. You see that 2 of them are missing. But for the most part, since you read Elven, you can see that these are dates and the titles of astronomical positions within the dates. So one labeled constellations, one labeled moon, and the moons, because there's 2 moons on this planet. The moons and the sun, and then basically like other planes. And each of those categories have various volumes, all dated for the past 3,000 years.
Yeah, open one and try and find a name, because usually they'll write their names within their notes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
blah,
journal
blah.
of blah blah blah.
Okay,
blah.
yeah, so you go roll percentals.
You got this. 94.
No. Okay, so you just pull a random tome off the wall. So we'll say it's the constellational positions for like 1,000 years ago. You are correct. When you open up the cover, it gives it renames the title, and then it goes collected by magical and mundane instruments by Gian Malora.
How do you spell that?
Gina Maylor.
Gian, so G-J-I-A-N.
But I know something.
Melora, which would be like his surname, Melora.
You point that out to me while you're in there.
And you can roll knowledge local if you would like, because he is famous. If you have it.
I don't.
Okay, well, you wouldn't recognize the name then,
Even with my background.
even with your background.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be like, through my gags, I will be.
Well, you would probably read it and then bring the book with you out to speak.
Does she say that name? Though, like.
When
out
she
loud?
leaves,
She
yes.
will. Okay.
She
I do
will.
want to look at the bow to see if I can, before I step out.
Okay, so you stop by the case. It's in an upright, vertical display case, and you can tell it's an elven-style longbow.
Would I notice anything particular about it, or it's just a regular one? To me.
You don't know. The only reason you know it's magic is because
He said it?
it was magic, but it is not innately glowing or putting off any kind of persistent enchantment that would make it appear different.
Does the case look booby trapped?
You wouldn't know, but you can roll a search check, a perception.
Okay, I'm rolling over there from you, because that's really bad. 27?
Does that include the -2 for being sickened?
No, 25.
All right. It does not appear to be trapped, though it is locked.
Mm.
Though it is just glass, you could break it if you wanted to.
Alright, I'll step out to
Okay.
alleviate the smell.
Okay. So as she leaves, she kind of takes a second to get a couple of cleaner breaths in, and then she'll give you the name Gian Melora.
Can I make a knowledge local on that then?
Yes.
Oh, motherfucker. That's a 12.
So you don't recognize the name.
Yeah, it's all fine. I wouldn't
If you
remember
want
it
the
anyway.
spelling.
You could
Now that I
have.
think
You
about
may
it.
have.
That's
No, like because specific things may
Jolt my memory.
Jolt your
Holy
memory,
shit,
yeah.
okay, gotcha.
So that was his Grendier. Roll a knowledge religion.
15.
You would know that to actually fully destroy the statue and the evil aura around it, you would have to cast Consecrate here. But destroying the effigy does hinder some of the dark magic at work.
Yeah, because I don't have that power.
Okay. I think it might be second level, I don't remember.
Let me check, because
Pretty
I
sure.
have a bunch of them right down. Yeah, it's a second level.
Okay.
Can't do nothing about it yet.
I do not have it. Oh, it is my turn though. Have I noticed them dragging his unconscious
Yes.
body? I'm gonna go over there.
Okay.
Fine.
We just leave him in the corner. It's fine.
I'm going to use.
We'll wake him up before we leave. Let him sleep.
It's fine.
I'm going
I
to
have
use
an idea,
Cure Light
but I'm not
Wounds.
Okay,
The other one
so
will
D8
be
plus
able to
1.
wake up soon.
Yes.
That's a shame.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
guys
get
like
you
it.
up in a minute.
I don't know how to heal people. I have 1 potion left.
I have
For 7.
multitudes of
Alright, you gain 7 hit points.
I gained 7 hit points.
You heal from your negative value, not from 0.
Actually, that 15 put me directly at 0.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you are at 7 then.
Awesome. I am at 7 hit points. Alright, can I just...
Is he awake?
I am awake now.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the world of the living, my friend.
Wow. All I saw was black.
And right about that time, you would smell the room. But you're not forced to make a save.
Would I have... Nah, never mind.
Alright, so yeah, but you move over, you cast Cure Light on him. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
It'd probably be too much to ask to move into the room, so...
I'll allow you to move in and roll this turn, but if you fail, you won't be able to enter. You'll basically be like, I don't really want to go in there.
Yeah, sure, I'll try.
Okay. So Fortitude save, because you're a dwarf and you have bonus to poison some stuff, I'll give you a situational 2 from your race.
Come on, dice. Every time I ask, you just...
Just a blood.
4-2, you said? 6... 14... 16?
Alright, so you don't want to go in.
Well, darn
You're just kind of like, yeah. In that moment of hesitation to force yourself, your time allotment expires. But next turn you can try again.
Okay.
And Mr.
Smells
X.
just too much.
What you got, Mr.?
Hearing about that dagger makes me do just one thing that I can think of that makes sense. I summon a monster. A fiendish dire rat.
Okay.
And I inform him. Go fetch me that dagger. Only because they have bonuses to, you know, fortitude saves like that.
Okay.
And
So
disease. Yeah.
you come over,
Yep.
you summon the dire rat,
Yep.
and you tell him in that room, you know, there's a dagger in display
Yeah.
case, bring it to me.
Yes, and he has augmented strength and con as well because of my augmented summoning.
Yep.
So he should be able to break some glass and bring me a dagger.
Okay. Yeah, so he scampers into the room. You see him kind of hesitate for a second at the smell, but then he was like, yeah, whatever. He's a rat.
Smells like
I
home.
eat garbage.
Yeah, exactly. He's a rat.
Yeah.
That was my whole thought
Yeah.
process. Huh?
So he goes in, roll a strength check for the rat.
All right, let me get the actual strength here then, because I have everything pulled up.
It's a dire rat, so I think it's medium. Is it small or medium sized?
This is actually small,
Okay.
but he has a strength of 10, so he'd have a strength of 14 currently.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So it's
So
plus 2. And that's going to be 14 total.
Okay, so after a moment, you hear a crash, and then it comes scampering out with the blade in its mouth and just like brings it to
I
you.
just watched a rat just jump in here and break some shit and leave with a fucking...
Work smart, not hard, buddy.
It stays. I mean, it's 1 minute per level, right? So it's gonna persist for a while.
Yeah, he's going to hang out for a minute.
Yeah,
We'll have him
and
bring the
he's
rest
just
of
like
them.
And
just
then
waiting for more
And
instruction.
then a quick detect match. But
That's
doesn't
magic.
that also tell me what type of magic it is?
I've turned
Um,
around or two.
Yeah, so it would be. It's +1 dagger. I don't know if +1's evocation or universal. Well, the permanency on it would be universal. I don't know if the +1's universal.
Into the code it goes.
Yeah. But yeah,
Just in case
+1
you need to
dagger.
stab somebody with a little help from
It can't read Elven, but it would be intelligent enough to be like, yeah, there was a bunch of chicken scratch on the box, but I couldn't read it.
You
Boss.
speak Elven?
Yeah. Doesn't
What
everyone?
the fuck's that say?
On the box
Oh,
inside.
I don't read boxes.
Yeah. I mean, she did. So you could ask her if you wanted to.
What the box say? What was on the box?
My first dagger.
What?
Or my first kill.
It was my first kill.
Baby's first
My, Fisher Price, my first dagger. Got it.
Baby's first kill. All right, so that was Mr. X. Alec?
Alec. Now it's all the way back to me. I'm gonna stay in the room and I'm going to search and see if there was like a little hideaway area that he might have stashed something that was really meaningful to him.
All right,
'Cause
roll
he's
a-
putting these on that.
Roll perception.
He's putting these on display. I can only imagine what he's hiding.
Under the mattress.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking
It,
about.
it was almost
Yeah,
a
it
2,
was a one
and
to do
then-
that too, and
yeah.
it was Bop! Nope. All right, so that's a 23, I think.
Nice.
Perception. Yeah, 23 with a natural 20.
Where are you looking specifically?
Behind Matt, paintings, maybe
Plus
behind
9 to
him.
mine.
Maybe he might have been guarding something to him when he took his last breaths.
Okay. So
Anywhere.
you start searching around this side of the room. You go through like the armoires and some of the wardrobes and stuff like that.
Books
Looking
for
through
him,
stuff.
shit.
He has he has a lot of nice clothes, but they would still be considered commoners' clothes. He has a selection of nobles' clothes, and then you see he has a few outfits that would be borderline royalty.
So whatever he feels like for the day.
You get, for the most part, like whoever he's hosting. He seems to be a guy who likes to throw a lot of parties, since the bulk of his house is a party room.
Okay.
And he had a wine cellar that could rival like most nobles.
Okay.
But there's nothing in the wardrobes. He has a lot of like little odd stone trinkets that look to be like gifts. Like occasionally you'll find like a bracelet or like some beads, that kind of stuff,
And
things that
none
have been given to
None
him.
of those are glowing up with my detect magic.
Yeah, they're not magical, but they they would be like standard jewelry, that kind of thing. You search the bed. Other than the linens on it, like there isn't really anything hiding. You go to move the body, and it kind of melts in like kind of goopy.
All right, off the bone kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't. There's nothing really behind him. All the books that were behind him are effectively ruined because they've soaked up elf juice.
Him.
Yeah.
They soaked him up.
He is now one with his books.
Palpable.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Making
Elf juice.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
your
you
energy
you
beverage.
search the bookshelf. Roll for Sentinels.
Needs Red Bull.
Red Bull gives you wings, but elf juice gives you ears.
All right. Yeah. So you start moving through some of the books, leafing through them, pulling them out. You don't really find anything behind the bookshelves.
No keys or anything on them?
Nope.
You fucking locked yourself in here with nothing. Fucking idiot.
Oh, you had 4 weapons.
Oh, yeah,
And
that
his
got him really
life.
far, didn't it?
His life's work was
All right.
with the books.
Well, look what his life would gone. Nowhere. Sorry, that's out.
I mean, it got him.
Says the guy with 2 magic books.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
those 2 magic books didn't get him anywhere.
You're
Maybe one
conscious.
for me.
Unconscious.
Congrats.
Can I get up with no penalty?
Sure.
Awesome.
Only because we're outside of combat.
Awesome. I'm smelling that room right now.
Yeah.
Can I?
Just hold your breath.
Does anyone have in character asking anyone if it has like a scrap piece of rag or anything?
There would have been plenty in the compound at some point.
Alright, I'll take a scrap piece of rag, douse it in water from a water skin,
Okay.
and then tie it around my mouth and my nose.
Okay.
And I'll walk into the room.
And
Alright.
now he's
Make
waterboarding
fortitude save.
himself.
I'm lowering the DC.
12. -2, so 10.
Because he's sick.
He didn't
I'm
lower
sick
it
of
that
pressure.
low, I'm assuming.
Okay. Yeah. You enter the room
Mhm.
and you feel compelled to leave at the end of your exploration.
Okay, I want to beeline it straight for the bookcase.
Okay.
Shit, I
I
can't read.
know 5 languages. Common, Elven, Draconic, Dwarven, Orcish. Outside of those languages, do any of these books have any binding leather that are like a dark tan leather with language that seems unrecognizable to just about anyone currently?
They're all written in Elven.
They're all written in Elven.
Yeah.
Every single one of them?
Yep. Minus the 2 that you don't know that
Minus
exist.
the 2 that I don't know exist.
Yeah. You can see a couple of them are missing, but you
Okay.
don't know why.
Okay.
God,
On my
something
way
that's
out,
gonna
I'll
allow me to get a lot
smash
of
the case with
+1
the curved blade
Okay.
with the butt of my rifle or my musket.
Okay. Make a strength check.
One breaks the gun.
13.
Okay. So you smash the case. The glass shatters. You can reach in and grab the Elven curve blade.
And I'll walk my way out.
Okay.
And that's when he cuts his hand open, giving himself 1d6 damage and falling back down.
Gals.
My eggs! My boy!
Where?
Rolling all my crits.
Yeah, I'm gonna start along the wall.
Okay. Roll search check.
Outside combat, man. Shit.
Yeah. So 18.
Okay. We'll just go room by room. So as you're searching around the rooms and stuff, you start looking and you don't see anywhere in the walls that would denote like a secret hatch or anything like that. You start searching up by the stage. The dragon effigy is still pretty much there. It is burning at this point. A lot of the captives are trying to like convince people to go outside to get away from the smoke, but since you're small, you climb in around behind it. You don't really see anything. You come back to the hearth table and you notice that in this square here there is a hatch hidden in the stone slab right
The
there,
Hearthstone.
built into the hearthstone. Yeah.
We're going hunting, boys.
Okay. You can roll a. Do you have knowledge engineering?
Nope.
When has it ever stopped him?
Wait,
Yeah, I mean, you
would
wouldn't know how to activate it or anything like that then.
What,
Could
so
you
it's
do
like
it?
it's like obviously a door, but not one I can open.
It would be more like a hidden compartment, not a door.
Would you want to deliver? Would your character deliver it with any? other
Yeah,
kind?
I'll tell them that hey, there's a hidden door here.
Yeah, what language do you use?
Draconic.
So only people who speak Draconic would know that there is a hidden compartment there.
Hello?
Ratigan, go!
I would then say to the rest of the people, there's a hidden door over there.
All right.
Okay.
But does anybody speak Dwarven?
I do.
All right, so so you relate, you translate, and you call them over. We're gonna say that was your turn because you searched basically the whole
I
room.
can understand everything.
I send Ratigan in it.
So that was Gals. So now there's Van.
I'm gonna go brave the room to try to collect the last 2 items out of it for the room.
Okay, make a fortitude check. Save. Good thing.
I would have sent Ratigan.
Okay. Fort save?
Yep.
So, 19?
A 19. All right, so you kind of gag and don't like it, but
Yeah.
you're able to be in the room at no
There's only
penalty.
strength and dex on that a negative on.
Yeah.
So. I'm like, I smell worse.
Yeah.
So I see the dagger
You
and the
smell
sword's
worse.
gone.
You smell big.
And I just go, alright, I break the two last.
We need to bring these
make
folks
2
to
strength
specialists
checks.
eventually.
Red. Oh, that's a crit.
All right, you totally smashed that one. We'll say it was the 2-handed sword.
Right. And another strength check, though it's at -6.
It's everywhere.
So 9.
It's a DC 8.
Okay,
So,
good.
Yeah, you smash
Barely.
the glass,
You heard
and you're able to grab the longbow and the 2-handed
Adrenaline's
sword
starting to wear off again.
and bring them back out.
We need to start.
Two-handed sword.
We have to bring these books. We have to come back for these books.
I place the sword down. I place the bow, because I know you're also a bow user. Is there any inscriptions on them in Elven?
No,
Okay.
there were some inscriptions on the cases.
Don't worry about that.
Baby's first hunting.
I was like-
bow. Baby's first long sword.
I'm gonna go try to sleep. Don't shoot someone that's an enemy.
That's fair.
And then I'm gonna make my way back to that.
That's
All right,
fair.
so you
I
start
brought
going
that
back to bed.
myself.
Yeah. And try to pass back out because
Yeah.
he is
Oh, we found a secret door.
been
Isa.
going off multiple bouts of adrenaline, and it's less and less each time.
Can I ask one of the two that has the detect magic up? What's up with the bow?
It's +1.
I think you take the prong end, put it on the string, and point the end to the point end, and then pull. But that's just the theory.
So it'd be +1 to hit and damage.
And with the way Van left it, he's offered to you for first.
Okay. I'll take it.
Okay.
And then I will. I don't think I'm able to help.
Hmm?
I was looking to see if I had knowledge engineering to see if I could attempt to help with the things, but I don't.
Okay.
I got geography and nature.
All right. So you take the +1 longbow.
Yep.
Do you need help recalculating your attack matrix?
Yeah, we can do that.
We'll just change this to 5 and do a d8 +1. All right.
I'm totally selling this.
Grenadier?
Alright, I see the two-handed sword you put on the ground.
Yep. It's not a falchion, but it's a great sword. 19 to 20. I think it's a d10 times 2.
Yes.
Sounds right.
It's 2d6. I remember.
Oh yeah, 2d6. Not yeah.
For
not
damage.
D10.
Lower minimum.
Yeah. It's on the same par as a great axe, but yeah.
Most
So,
great weapons
the
are like
great
that.
sword.
Yeah. Are you proficient with martial?
Great axes do 12, great swords do 2.
I do not know.
I can't remember for the fact. Do you have the core rule book?
Well, then the great sword wins because minimum damage of 2 is always going to win out.
Yeah, the falchion does less damage
No,
than the
you
great
can't.
sword, so I picked up the great sword.
Yeah, but you crit more often.
Yeah.
It's a trade-off.
Can I just say I was going over identify?
I could always carry both.
The VSM is
Just have one sheet.
wine stirred with an owl's feather. And all I can picture is just some fucking snotty little fag. Bullshit asshole.
Well, no, you see, that's why you don't do identify
Some
well.
fat
You only have a
bullshit
raven's feather.
asshole. What is it?
A sommelier just taking an
That
owl
is,
feather.
+1 sword.
It's a +1 sword. Hold on my feather. +1 dagger.
I hate it.
Yeah, so a falchion's already two-handed. But yeah, the great sword is also a martial weapon. So if you can use the falchion, you can use the great sword.
Alright, so we get a magic glue and we glue them together.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
pretty
gonna
much.
do. That's weird. Like, why even have the falchion exist if you can just take the great sword? Oh, because the expanded critical. Yeah, yours crits on an 18 to 20. The great sword crits on the 19 to 20 and does more damage.
And they're the same multiplier?
Yeah, same times 2.
Yeah.
So the great sword does more damage.
Does more base damage. Instead of rolling 2d4, you're rolling 2d6, and then but you only crit on a 19 and 20 instead of an 18, 19, and 20.
So overall, it's better to keep the falchion, like in game mechanics wise.
Well, it depends. If you're building into a critical build, like critical sunder or something like that, then the falchion's better because you have more of a chance to crit and activate those feats.
I say you go full Geralt and carry 2 swords.
I was just gonna ask, can I just carry both?
Yeah.
So I picked up the Elvish Kurt Blade.
Just decide which one you want to hit with.
So what's the attack bonus?
Wait a minute.
So it's going to be your
Fire
strength
things at
bonus
range?
plus your base
Elven
attack
Kurt
bonus
Blade?
plus 1.
The
I'm gonna
strength
duct tape
plus
it to
We're
my
gonna call
gun.
you legless.
strength plus attack
I'm gonna
bonus.
tape it to my gun.
I think
Yeah,
1.
look at that.
3, so 5.
That actually makes sense.
And then an extra 1 because
That
it's
way
a
if
plus
your gun
1.
critically
So
Great
hits,
sword.
you can still.
Sweet.
Cool.
And the crit was 19 to 20, and you said it was a 2d6 plus what?
2d6 plus 1 plus your strength mod.
And if you're wielding with 2 hands, isn't it strength and a half?
I
is
think
that
that's only
not
after you take power attack.
Ah, okay.
Once you take power attack, you get you can
Ah.
sack the bonus to and from, and you add strength and a half. I don't know. You should
I'm
fact
pretty
check me
sure
on that.
power. Yeah, I'll double check for you while you're DMing.
Yeah, I can't remember, and I don't know if they changed it from 3.5.
That's fair.
Well, I just remember because of the one shot that we did with Blake that it was strength and a half if you're wielding a 2-handed weapon with 2 hands.
Right.
So,
But I don't know if there's a prerequisite to that. I know what you're saying exists.
Yeah.
I just don't know if there's something you have to take in order for that to happen. I can't remember.
Yeah, because that was 12th level too.
Yeah, true. That was 12th level.
All right, so that was Grenadier. Mr. X, you want to send the rat over to investigate the trap?
Yes, I'll send Ratty. The trap, you say?
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah. I'll send Radigan over to go check out the secret door.
All right.
Good
Yeah.
job,
So,
Dickhead.
yeah.
Wow. And I lose 100 XP for being hilarious.
Is that the rat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the rat, after
Can we call him Marshall?
His name is Radigan. When
Can
you
we call him
summon
Marshall? I think we got 2 votes for Marshall.
the guy who summoned him said his name's Radigan.
Then the next
Yes.
one. Next one. We got the next one.
Yeah, you summon your own rat.
And if you don't like it, why don't you have a scrambled egg?
So,
This just got one name twice as long.
My name was already on there.
so
Yeah, now it's on there twice.
Radigan is fiddle fucking
Now
with
what you're doing.
the thing,
Fiddle
and it comes back and tells you that you got to put a special goblet in one of the like molder wine slots, and it will open up the hatch.
I let the homies know.
Okay.
I let everyone know
When he
that the
says
rat
that,
has informed
I'll
me
go
how
grab
to
the goblet that I found in that one room, and he said, "Put it in where?"
In one of the slots in the table to like have your molder wine or spice wine warmed by the heat.
Oh no.
All right, then I'll grab the special one that was in that table, and I'll bring it over there and look for a used.
Okay. Do you investigate the goblet or anything like that before?
He just does it.
No, I heard that, and I should go grab the goblet and then see
Alright.
if I can.
None
Roll a
of us,
d20.
I'm going to.
okay. None of us have the wherewithal to know this stuff. None of us are rogues.
What are we rolling? What am I rolling?
Well, there are 20 slots, so you're rolling to see.
Oh, there's 20. I thought there was 4.
No, there's 10 on each side.
Oh,
It's a
well, then
huge.
I'll see if
They're
there's
only
a
like
pattern-
this big.
Then I'll see if there's like a pattern on the cup that matches a pattern on the slot.
All right, yeah. So you actually look over the goblet to
Yeah.
see if there's any kind of art, and on the bottom you would see that are his initials engraved into like a relief, so something could fit in there. And you go through and you check out all of the cup holders basically, and you do find one that lines up with his initials.
His initials?
Lock it in.
No,
You pointed at Luke,
Yeah, you
didn't
pointed
You
at
just-
Lou.
I pointed at you because you're the one who
Oh.
learned his name.
you? Oh.
Yeah. You would add strength and a half to your attack rolls with a two-handed weapon.
Attack rolls or
Wielded with
damage
two-handed-
rolls?
Attack rolls with a two-handed weapon, not damage.
So wait, strength and a half.
Strength and a half. Yes.
So what's your strength bonus?
2.
So you would add
Yeah,
3
pretty-
instead of
Yeah.
2, not on
Instead
top
of 2, so you'd add 1 essentially.
Yeah, but if you had a bonus of 6, it would be 9. Because you
Now,
add
if you do a two-handed on a one-handed weapon, you also add the damage.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Let's see if they have that in there.
Anyway, so you sit the goblet down. It kind of starts to feel like it can rotate a little bit. Kind of
Like a
jiggle.
lock?
Yeah, and you rotate it about 180 degrees, and then almost like a safe door, just kind of pops
These
open.
women are dead.
Is it dark in there?
Not yet.
Yes, there's no light.
What do
In
I
fact, it
see?
looks
Wait, is it your
unnaturally
turn?
dark in there.
What?
I thought it was your turn.
Is there magical darkness on?
Yes. You can
Yeah,
see
because
with
you
your
had
detect
Radigan
magic up
check
that
out
this
the-
is the spell Deeper Darkness, basically being encased in the safe. Hmm?
It's cool.
What?
It's his turn.
It's his turn, not his turn.
He said when I told him about the cup, he would put the cups in, and
I knew
then
that.
we've moved on to his turn, and I'm okay with it.
All right.
I don't give a look. I got a +1 dagger. I'm gonna sell for some honey dust. I got a rat that I don't give 2 shits about because he's not Nidolin,
There you go.
All right.
and I can
Radigan.
kill you all in your sleeps
fair.
with my
So-
+1
Say that
dagger.
out loud.
So-
What? Did you say that out loud?
So after his turn
Did you hear me?
is your turn.
Okay,
So you do that.
so we do all that.
Okay.
Now it's my turn. So what else do we do?
Well, I mean,
I'm
what are you
kidding.
doing with the
I'm
safe?
just kidding. What?
So the safe is open and there's some type of enclosed
I
deeper
don't
darkness.
I don't have any means of getting rid of that magic.
Make sure you get the hand stick.
So I don't have levels of spells.
Let's zoom in on it.
I don't know. I'd have to think about this one. Is there a way that I can get rid of that magic, or is there a way to dispel
Do you have
it?
Dispel Magic?
It's a level 2 spell.
Do you have a Rod of Cancellation?
Have you given me a rod of cancellation?
Do you have an anti-magic field?
Have you given
No,
me an
they can't.
anti-magic?
So then you have no way of actually dispelling the darkness.
I have no way of getting
Well, on- on top
there
of
is
daylight.
one way to
I mean,
dispel-
well, let's try this. I'm gonna take a little firefly out, and I'm gonna blow them in there, and I'm gonna cast light in there.
Push it towards the table.
Okay, so Deeper Darkness absorbs the light. You would need to cast.
I would know that too.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
would,
left it
and you would also know that the only way to
Oh, that's
to
good.
counterspell it would be with a daylight spell.
Doc moved it at one point.
Yeah, or some equivalent like Sunburst. Some higher
or maybe
level
we
version
can
of light.
blast a hole through the roof and let
I
it
have
have
just
actual
light.
daylight.
It would eat it up.
It's the spell daylight, not
Wait, you said,
natural daylight.
so like, is there a ladder or anything that leads into it?
No, it's a safe.
Oh, so
It's only this big.
if I put my hand in there,
You could, yes.
I'm gonna put my hand in there.
All right,
Feeling around, do I find
Reflex save.
you do.
Sentinels.
What do I
And
find?
he starts to get
You,
sucked
you
in.
find something that feels like a large number of coins.
Jackpot. Start putting start pulling coins out and putting it on the ground next to me. So start to.
All right, so you basically just start scooping out
Shuffling.
gold coins.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna miss him.
okay
Give me a
then.
ballpark.
You roll an appraise check.
I'll roll an appraise check for you.
If only your raven wasn't flying around.
Yeah, he's out there keeping an eye out for us. That's going to be a 16.
This is somewhere between 500 and 501 gold coins.
I have
guessing-
500 and a half gold coins.
Wait,
I'm
half?
sleeping.
Yeah,
Silver
he took
beads.
one out and he bit it and it bent in half and broke.
So
do
I don't
you
know what
eat
it's
the-
Actually, it's an electron. Huh? What?
Oh no, they're chocolate.
Leprechaun.
All right.
Okay, you rich guy.
Not rich.
All right. So that was Alec.
Yeah, he came
Yalla?
with 500 gold coins.
There's not much we can do now.
And there's plenty you can do. You can usher these ladies out of here. Tell them to strap on other people's armor and then go.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did I hear strapping?
Don't get too excited.
Too late.
Yeah, I guess we'll just start leading the hostages out. There's no sense in staying anymore.
All right. So they start all kind of following behind you. They've been ready to go for.
Oh well, this party's over.
You can show them where all those. Oh wait.
I mean, I'm only gonna take them outside.
Do
to
you
the
want me to
courtyard.
show
No,
all of the
don't-
tortured
don't let
slaves
them go
the
past
pile
that
of
shit.
dead bodies?
I wasn't gonna.
No,
I
I
wasn't
was
gonna
gonna
let them
say
go
if you
past
found a
me.
bunch of
Yeah.
curved blades in that room,
I'm in the
right?
front.
So we could just give them those.
But
If
those
they-
are worth a lot of gold each.
When we get them to the road,
Like I said, I'm not gonna
They
let them
can
get
carry
past
them
the
out.
wall.
They don't need the weapons. We've killed most of the threat.
The water, set them on their way.
Well, we could tell them that they need them, and they can carry them out.
It's about a 10-day journey.
Well, we can just
There
tell them to
you
carry
could.
them out for us.
But you know what else I think we should do?
Don't expect them. to
Burn
pass.
this horrible place to the fucking ground.
It's made of stone.
Yeah. we're gonna-
So you started ushering
Alright,
them out.
so
yeah,
we'll
we'll
need
stop at
air
the
fuel.
we'll stop at the courtyard and I'll tell them to wait for us.
Okay. So you start to leave. They all shuffle around behind you.
We're gonna leave and we're not gonna have any cards left.
Gauss.
All right.
You want to search another room?
Yeah.
You got like a guard barracks. We can do the kitchen and wine cellar is one plus the smoking room.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Go for
Guard
the
barracks.
smoking. Oh.
Guard barracks. All right.
Yeah.
Roll search perception.
You forgot the guard bear's name.
Like,
You moved right past them.
it's kind of like
No.
Kinda, I just remember.
Use all those fucking females to bring all those books down to the court.
yeah. It was between an 11 and a
I
13.
figure I trust your roll.
Well, yeah, but now I got an 11 anyway, so it's all good.
There's ways.
For ironic reasons.
You'll look like
Right.
Sam Jackson.
Hold
and
on.
fucking.
All right. You don't find any secret doors in the guard barracks, but you do find the elven curve blades and the two chests.
Didn't you roll percentiles to see what there's anything relevant
Okay.
other than the two books
Noted.
you had?
I'm gonna need to sell that stuff to get enough money to resurrect my my son.
Checking for like secrets.
So-
and shit.
We'll come collect those once I'm done searching.
Okay.
Those are the smithing supplies I saw in the other rooms.
Oh yeah, I told everybody everything I found.
Okay.
I didn't hide anything from anyone.
Alright.
Except for the 2 books, I didn't say anything. about those
Only
yet.
dead people
And the
do
500
that.
gold.
All right. So
I mean,
then.
we all saw the 500 gold, so.
No, yeah, like, it's not like I was trying to keep the gold. It's like, I pulled it all out for everybody to grab some shit to help me carry it.
I tried.
So that was Gauss. Now we're at Van. Van, you're napping.
I'm trying.
Issa.
I'll go check out that smoking room. See if there's anything.
All right. Roll a perception.
Hey. 24. Am I still sickened?
Yeah.
20.
Okay. So, as you're searching around, on this bookshelf, you can see that most of these books are fake, and they're actually a series of levers.
Oh,
I pull one.
drunk, pull the
Okay.
lever.
Roll a d8.
Wait for it.
Wrong alert.
Nice. So you just kind of randomly find most of them are kind of embedded in, and as you look, like the binding and the paper is real, but it's been anchored in place somehow, like not just wedged and stuck. Like that
How are you gonna get those?
is in there. A couple of them are mobile, and you just kind of, all right, I'll pick this one. You go to pull it back, and you hear like a mechanical sound activate, and a door opens up right here. It's very small. You would have to squeeze through it, but you could go into like a crawl space behind the bookshelf.
That's fucking awesome.
Can I dark this one?
I don't remember. You either have low light or dark.
As an
Okay,
elf,
so I'll
you
be
have,
able to-
dark vision.
Yeah, so you have dark, so you can see in there.
Yeah, okay. I'll check it out.
Okay, so you go through the crawl space and look around, and there is
Dark vision 60 feet if it matters.
a magic circle on the floor here.
Stick your bow in.
Okay.
I don't have
It is active.
knowledge arcana, so I'm gonna pop my head back out and call for one of the magically inclined
All but one.
to come hither and check out this magic circle.
Okay.
Because that's all I can tell what it is.
There's a glow spot there.
Grendir? Grendir?
Not to set off the code.
So no matter what I do to the statue, I'm not going to erase the evil from this place unless I concentrate it.
Correct. Well, destroying the statue is the first step in consecrating it.
Okay.
And then you would need to actually cast the consecrate spell over the area to negate the desecrate.
Why?
Alright. Did I heard her yell at the magic circle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can move to investigate it if you want.
Yeah. I'm going to
I
have
crawl
a
out of
quick-
it since there's probably not enough room for the rest of us in there.
Yep. Go ahead and roll a. You can either roll spellcraft or knowledge arcana.
I'll put you $5 and then the damn duration of the
Well,
ritual.
which one's higher? Let me see.
Half to your
Well, they rolled the same. So I guess
This works.
That's not heartening. 12.
Okay, so you know that this is some kind of magic circle. You don't know what it does. It's usually, you can tell from the fact that it's been lingering here for the entire time, it's probably been made permanent. Most magic circles provide some kind of warding. So like magic circle against evil, if you will. And most of the time, if they're used in that way, they're used for spells like planar binding or contact other plane, which allows you to basically almost do like a Faustian bargain of sorts. In this case, because it's hidden, it's probably a teleportation circle that's been made permanent,
He went to the wrong.
like a secret passage of sorts.
So touch it and go someplace else, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, specifically enter it and go somewhere else.
Can we send Radigan to?
Yes.
Would you be able to communicate with him still?
Yes.
No, but if it's two-way, he
But-
could come
but-
back.
You're not supposed to answer that. Yes. Yes, I can.
Oh, okay.
Well then,
He's fiendish, so you really shouldn't care either way.
yeah, heard him.
Right, I can say.
Oh, Radigan knows exactly what's up.
Yeah, I
Radigan's
guess-
down to clown.
Yeah, I guess I'd look out the window and look out the door and go, "Hey, we need the Radican."
The
The rat again.
That was good.
He deserves XP for that.
Yes, you do.
But
Okay.
that's your choice.
The question
All
is,
right.
did you do
What was
it
that
on
on?
purpose?
Lawful good?
All right, so
More like lawful great.
that was Grendir.
Lawful
Mr. X.
All right.
I've already
Well,
moved you in.
before I do all of that nonsense, I do want to roll a knowledge religion to try to understand what's going on with Cobalt Easter over here.
Okay.
He's looking for eggs. He's freaking out. I want to know what's happening.
Cobalt bunny, I get it.
No, it's because you're looking for eggs.
Yeah.
I assume it's Cobalt Easter.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's a 13 on the die, and that's all I really care about.
So
This
you're-
is not a. This is me earnestly trying to go. Is this some religious thing?
You're fairly certain that that was a relative of some kind. You're not sure what. I mean, you speak Draconic. You're able to understand his babblings, but
Yeah, it's like, my mittens.
My boy.
Oh, he keeps saying my boy.
Yeah.
Not that I would know that.
Yeah, but I mean,
You can also
that's
tell
also
that,
what he calls his cloaca.
but you can tell like that's a dragon egg, so you don't know if he's just mourning a child lost of his kin or if that is actually his son. You're not sure.
Seems
You're
a
also
little
not able
personal. I'll
to.
keep it to myself.
Yeah.
And all right, I'm gonna go up to the magic circle.
All right.
I'm going to put down Radigan.
Yep.
And I'm gonna jump in.
Okay. All right. So you put the you put the rat down and you jump in.
Yes.
You immediately appear in a.
I deal with planar creatures for a living, my friend.
You appear in a large, dusty workshop. You can hear some hustle and bustle of city life around you. You can kind of hear some talking and stuff. You definitely realize you've just teleported to a city of some kind, but you don't know where, you don't know when, you don't know how.
I try to find a door to find out what city I'm in.
All right, so you start looking around. There are some windows.
Open up the window and scrooge that shit.
You
boy, what place is this? What day is it,
What's the
boy?
day?
Well, good sir, you're in God's Gate.
Son of a bitch!
So 9 days later, we get him back.
16, actually.
Are you telling me there was a shortcut the whole time?
We found our waypoint.
This poor child's like,
Wait, go grab the chicks.
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about? You guys don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sell this knife, go to my place where I buy drugs, and then come back and go, nothing, don't even worry.
You never saw him.
Oh, by the way, no, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Sell the knife for the 2,000 gold for drugs. It's a +1 dagger. It's gonna give me some drug money.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna hop back through the portal and go, there's nothing there.
So for next
Complete desert as far as the eye can see. I
That's-
walked the whole time, I found nothing.
That sounds like a lawful neutral character, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just worried about me.
Oh no, you're true neutral, aren't
How
you?
long
No,
you
I
been
am
there?
chaotic neutral.
Chaotic. Oh yeah, that's
Find out.
definitely something that you would do.
Okay.
That's why I put the rat down for safety and then jumped in.
So
Learn
That's the
you
chaotic.
you start. You're in a building.
Hey, you have my permission to fast track this. I'm not expecting an argument.
Well, no, I mean you can't just be like, vendor. Like you gotta go find
blacksmith,
yeah.
weapon dealer. I've been to Bard's Gate. I know my way around.
This is very true. However, like
You don't know when.
it's not instant. You're gonna take probably an hour to go get somewhere.
That's perfectly fine.
All right, so you guys would hear him just. You see Radigan disappear because now he's outside the spell range, and
So-
yeah, you don't know what happens.
How good is your character's memory?
Very good.
Alright. Because we are being tailed. And
I'm not being tailed anymore.
Alright.
He's not.
So, that was Mr. X. Alec.
I found stuff.
Okay, as I was leaving the room, I heard her call for
We
magic
just
people,
need to
so I
get
head over
hostages
to that way.
Yep, you get there. He's,
I would also be like, hey, stop.
You can.
Wait for the girls.
I'll jump
Bring them over here for a second. I might have a job for you guys.
No,
I
I will
see.
not let you do that to them.
They can help us get the
Looking
books.
for-
They can. These books can have
He's gonna have him
information
walk the
on
books
Sword
out, not jump through the gate.
They are malnourished. Those are heavy ass tomes.
We
How
have-
many do you think they'll
We
carry?
have plenty of food in the thing. We'll give it to them if they need it. They can do one last thing. It's not like they're gonna die on the way over there.
They may
might
die.
actually.
they're not gonna die from picking up a book.
I like how laissez-faire
I mean, I know
everyone
I'm
is
being an
about my
asshole, but-
apparent disintegration.
I'm
Okay,
sleeping,
so
I didn't know
how
this.
many-
I love you guys too, assholes.
But anyway, as I get over by them and I'm saying all this, you know,
I mean-
bring the girls back. We need to get them to carry these books down to our
Alright,
You
there's
probably need
one
to
I
there's
see
one
the-
there's
You'll be
one
fine.
fatal flaw in this. They have to make their way through that disgusting room.
I mean, if you took some time to clean it, then,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, so you get.
No, and if anything, I'll just
I
bring
mean,
the
it's
books out
appropriate.
one at a time if I have
Yeah. Okay.
to. And use mage hand. I see the circle. Can I use maybe like a spellcraft to see if I know where it might go or what it does or anything?
You can explicitly use spellcraft to see where it might go.
That's precisely what I use for that skill.
Oh, that's
Well, I
fine.
could have done that. You didn't tell me.
20.
No, my bad. 18.
Oh.
I have a plus 10.
Shame.
I have a couple other things that I have plus 12.
Okay, so with an 18, because it's 15 plus the spell level to identify the spell. So you're not even sure that this is a teleportation circle. You know he stepped through it and went somewhere. Fairly certain it's a teleportation circle, but you don't know specifically if it is and what it does.
Couple things can happen. He could come back right away if there's a return slot. If there isn't, he's gone.
Yeah.
So we could wait around for a couple minutes, see if he comes back. If not, I don't know when he's returning. We don't know if he even can return.
Okay.
I say that to her and him because they're both right there. In the meantime, anyway, Yahweh, get back over here, and I'm gonna call him to bring those girls back over here so we start taking those girls down.
Okay,
Yahweh.
so
No, I just remembered something important. I have the rod to communicate with the game.
Actually, you gave it to me.
You did. You gave it to me.
Sorry.
Oh,
You
good.
can use
Perfect.
it.
We're good.
All
Anyway,
right.
so what's your new character?
It's not
I'm
dead.
joking.
all right, so let's summarize the next bit a little bit because you guys have effectively found everything in the module now. So we have the books that want to be taken, plus the Elven Curve blades, and then beyond that, is there anything else you guys want to take out?
Stuff that's worth money.
Some of the alcohol.
If we
Still
came
good.
here
Well,
to
other
get all
than the
these things,
wine, there isn't really anything else that I know of you guys have taken.
then that's it.
It was all the armors
I figured it out, guys.
last time.
I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
contact
all of
realtor
the
in Barnes Gate.
blackened breastplates that the hobgoblins were wearing.
Mm-hmm.
All their armor.
So I'm pretty sure, moving all those books, taking time to get everything out of the house, that's going to
Did
take
anybody-
about an hour or two, right?
Right. But on my next turn, I'm going through that portal. I'm looking for Varrock.
Did you jot down the?
Okay, so you go through the portal. Let's start there
Yeah,
because it's
yeah.
going to change how some things get expedited.
Yeah, it does.
You go through the portal. At this point, you've left the building. You realize that you're in somebody's house, and as you look around, like nobody's been here. It doesn't look like they've been here for a long time. Everything's kind of covered in dust.
Like 6 months worth.
Yeah. Well, no, much longer than that. But you can tell like the building just hasn't really been used. It's not lavishly decorated by any means. But anyway, so you've left and are out in the city. You go through the portal. You appear in a city. Same thing. You don't really know when you are, where you are, all that kind of stuff. You go to the window to Scrooge and you call down, and there's some
Same little
kid
boy.
who's tired of being Scrooged at. And
What
you're
did you
like,
get yelled at
in Draconic, you're like, boy, where are we? And he's like, it's cold, and runs away. And some elf passerby is like, good sir, you're in Bard's Gate. And in Draconic, you thank him.
Yeah, we really got to stop Scrooging kids.
And then so do you go back through the...
Yeah.
Okay, so after
20.
a minute, the kobold reappears and tells you guys that the teleportation circle goes to Bard's Gate.
Goes to an empty house in Bard's Gate. Looks like it's been abandoned for a while.
I've been sleeping still.
And he's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Coltrane's missing. And I go start
Wait,
collecting
it went
shit.
back to Bard's Gate?
Yeah, it goes back to Bard's Gate. I'm gonna go start looting stuff because I need 29,500 gold to get a scroll of true resurrection.
You know,
You're on
I
your
just
way.
gotta state that
I'm
I
gonna
don't think
start-
if my name was on your list, you would tell them I'm missing. I think you go with dead.
I'm gonna just start.
Missing until confirmed dead.
Yes.
Dylan, how many
It's like,
of
oh,
the
He wants to make
stealth
sure.
breastplate
He wants
armor
to make
was
sure
there?
himself
Let's leave with
that
all
the
of his
job
equipment.
is done.
3, 6,
You start bringing them up. Once we
9,
realize that, we can start teleporting them there.
and 12. 21.
Alright. 21 stealth breastplate.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll make note of that. Put the cart and all that stuff. Or the portal whenever I find out.
Alright, I have an idea then. With that knowledge, knowing that it goes back to Bard's Gate, let's send the girls back to Bard's Gate.
With the
Let's also, might as well take a quick trip there while we're there. Sell half the shit we have so that way we don't have to worry about carrying it around.
Carrying capacity, etc.
But
Yeah.
is somebody gonna stick? Oh, I'm not there, so never mind.
So you could just sell.
The house was
Um,
probably Marok's. What's her
I'm just
name?
worried
Healthy
about the
hoity-toities.
horse and the
Yeah.
cart.
So,
The 2 mules take
I don't think
attack.
he's going to be using it very often. We
You
can use
and
it as a
Jazz.
base of
Take
operations.
attack.
That's a great idea.
Ooh.
And it comes with a fort.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, we just got to cover up the circle after we leave.
Roll knowledge local.
Oh,
I'll
right.
clean that room out.
We also have to consecrate
Yeah.
the grass.
We'll get a
Yeah.
square area rug.
Oh, true.
Brilliant.
So I'll leave, go back.
14.
Okay, so the waiting list for the housing market on Bard's Gate is very extensive. Really, only the most prestigious of individuals who practice in some type of crafting art or, musical arts, performing arts, any kind of that kind of stuff, are even allowed to purchase property inside the city itself.
Let's rent it.
So if you start squatting in this building and it's found out, there will be severe repercussions. And basically, the estate is going to pass to his next of kin when it's discovered whose the property is.
When
And-
it's discovered he's
Yeah.
dead.
I was gonna say, and who could have known that he was 50% kobold?
Why, yes, what was his name? I am Ma something Esquire.
You're
Gallon.
You're-
Look, I have 20 fake IDs. I'm sure I can get
It's
one.
not that hard for him to look like that, and I'll put my hand
You
on
have
his
a
thing
wizard
and cast
contact,
disguise self
don't
on him, and he looks
All right,
just
so
like
you-
a fucking
okay
elf
with
with
that.
a
So,
big
so you would know that
Oh,
disguise
correct.
self
I don't
is
think,
good,
we
but
should-
people who are very familiar with this person will see through it because
Yeah.
the disguise is not perfect,
That's true.
right? So
Oh,
if,
I'm not actually doing it.
Well, then
no,
we
I'm
work
just saying,
with
like,
one
it
to
may
death
work for now.
of
Oh, yeah.
this
But
elf.
somebody like this may eventually, especially somebody who's hosted such lavish parties out here in this mountainside estate, there could be an untold number of people who actually know what he
I
looks
think
like.
we should just leave sticks where they lie. We can just come and go as we please. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Don't use it. Don't use it as anything other than that.
I would like to, as we escort all the women out, I would like to find a guard in Bard's Gate to explain some of the situation and get them help.
Don't explain
The portal of the house.
Wouldn't you just take them to a
We're
church?
guests
then?
of his house now. We're just guests. So us coming and going doesn't matter.
Bring all
No one
the
else's
Okay,
business.
so
They're gonna want to talk
they're
to
going
him.
to ask how
You know
12 malnourished hostages just appeared in the city.
Look real rough and ragged.
Okay,
Just
I've
look
got
at
your
it,
answer. I've got your answer.
All
Yeah,
right? And-
magic.
I think
Alright,
we're
the
not
guards
there.
would be familiar enough to know.
I mean, it's an
on
honest
experience
answer.
with
It
it
really
when
is.
they see one.
Well, okay, we'll go into that a little bit more when we go actually do that. So the plan is, what I'm hearing is, we're going to send the captives through the portal and get them set up with at least the local government for help. And you're kind of passing the baton off while you guys
Not our
use this
problem.
opportunity to take everything from here, bring it through the portal and sell it, and then go back through the portal to get back your cart and continue on your journey.
Correct.
Got
Sounds
it.
great. Keeping the books on the cart. I'm gonna have to go through them eventually.
Better
So
get
you're
tarp
taking
done.
all of the books with you.
It's a chronological order of the past 3,000 years. There could be information on the Sword of Air in there.
Better
There
get
could be.
tarp done.
100%.
I thought
And
these
we
were
have another 30
astrological,
days.
not-
Well,
Terrestrial.
that's how he was keeping track of it, right?
So you don't know. You don't know what the actual details of the books are.
Oh.
By the title and based off of a couple quick glances, this is astral positioning.
Oh. Well, then I don't
But
give
there
a
could
fuck.
you don't know if there are other events that he were tracking that were related to the position of the stars and other heavenly objects.
That's true. So,
Okay,
yeah,
so
you
I
just-
at least want to bring it with us.
How
just
many-
to- We have a long travel, so.
How many
Here's
of
the
us speak Elven or
Right.
can read Elven?
The
Aside from
land doesn't last
aside
that
from
long.
magic users. All right.
Aside from magic users, so you're just asking
So
yourself
you're-
at this point.
So
You're your- yeah.
two of us can just naturally spout off this information.
I think he meant like who can do it without having to cast
Cast
combat.
oh,
spells.
without having to
Yeah.
cast magic.
Because
No, I
that lessens the burden on the spellcasters.
Yeah.
So we could take shifts on reading and then figure out how long from there it would
He
take.
opens the first book.
And-
You will
I
think
assume
it's
you have a
possible.
high intelligence.
How many books were there? I'm gonna just put it on like the cart.
300.
Pounds. Not
Of
300.
books?
Yeah, so that's
300 pounds of
I mean,
books, yes.
So how many?
So if each book weighs 2
Oh, if there's
pounds,
useless
it's 100
information, I'm
books.
torching all of it.
I mean, yeah,
Each book's
as we're
probably-
going, I'm figuring, oh, nothing in this one. Throw.
Yeah.
There's
Nothing in this one.
3,000.
Throw.
No.
I don't give a
Okay.
fuck about the
Don't
books.
throw.
That's all
Hold on.
information
I,
that we
It's
need.
life.
I'm very good.
I got
Roll an
destroying
appraisal.
books.
At this point, you would have your Raven back,
Look,
so
a
you
ball of
can.
yarn.
Now I get even more, okay, so
Yeah.
it's now a plus 14 instead.
Yeah, why not just leave breadcrumbs for a change?
So 18?
Okay, so with an 18, you would know two things. There's a personalized collection. So finding a buyer for the books is going to be very difficult. They're also going to ask why this personal collection is being sold, which may inquire to the fact that this individual is dead, which will trigger the cascading events of his estate and everything moving on, right? However, you would realize that a collection of works of this magnitude would be worth 10,000 gold pieces to the right buyer.
Tip for after. Or
We're keeping the books. And we're keeping them
Like,
in order.
to another astromancer, or somebody who is just starting to pick up astromancy,
Oh yeah, this is a gold.
this would be priceless.
Okay, then I'm definitely keeping the books.
DM, how many books are there actually?
Keep them there.
Just
And
sheer
we
number.
can get them
Well,
later.
what if
Let's
we're
go
gone,
with
we're gone,
200.
They find
Okay.
out one boy's
There's
dead,
200
they come
tomes,
get
and
their
each
shit.
tome is
We do
5
tack
pounds.
and
So
easily
his
carry.
estimate that there are 300 pounds of books was a little conservative.
He is a little weak. So
How much is it then?
20
there's 200,
books, 5 pounds
200 books.
100 pounds.
So it's only
Yeah.
100 pounds.
So it's more like
out of
1,000 pounds of
two-
books.
Almost like a
200
shit ton of
books.
gold.
No, 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
1,000 pounds. Okay.
200 books.
Okay. 200 books at 1,000
I was about to
pounds.
say it's 3,000
No,
years
it-
worth. Of.
It is
Yeah.
1,000 pounds. 200 books equal 1,000 pounds.
Grant, he might write really small for all you know. Would an hour have passed during all these shenanigans and
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you would have woken up
I
to
would've-
after a while
Not
to
to
them
mention
experimenting
if
and
they're
trying to
anyway
figure out. Like the
strong.
women would have still even been there.
Yeah.
There,
Still
anyway,
carry 400
astronomy
more
days, there's
books.
probably going to
Do
be
we need
pictures,
that?
you know, star charts and shit.
Yeah. So I'm just fatigued now.
Sorry.
So now I'm a little more able to
You're good.
process.
It's
Would I-
10,000 gold
Oh,
at least.
You know, it's all good. You know, this is why I bought the
Yeah.
carts.
Was-
Until we get caught with all the stolen property.
You would
I
also
don't
know
Hey,
that
in the
if
house.
you were to take these on the carts and it were to
Yeah, they're
Get
wet.
rain, you could ruin the entire collection.
how about we
Why
do
don't we
this?
just leave them into the house?
Why don't we
Why don't
just
we just
sell
leave them
all
out?
these weapons and armor, get a bag of holding, and then put the books in the bag of holding?
'Cause it's
Or two
limited
bags
and
of
it doesn't
holding,
hold 1,000
or three
Or-
bags.
Okay, I figured that we would have figured all this out before we started trying to like transfer them or anything. So while we're waiting for the hour for him to get his shit done, while everybody else is selling things, I'll stay behind in the house and just try to skim through and see if I can find anything related to Sword of Air. So that way we can leave all the books here. If we want to try and sell them later on, if they haven't been taken, we can come back again.
Okay, so something else that, the women folk will tell you because they're trying to help you since you rescued them is a bunch of hobgoblins actively come back to this location and expect it to be populated. If you just leave the books here,
They're gonna get
they're
destroyed.
probably going to get destroyed.
So
many-
why
You can
doesn't
put
he
them on
just
the
close
cart.
the
I have
trap
more
door
than
that they
enough
haven't
space.
found and
No.
hide
They
behind it?
did
He
find it
just-
was locked, and
Yeah.
he destroyed the lock with his gun, so they couldn't get inside. The person barricaded himself inside and locked the door so that they
Oh
couldn't
no,
get
I
to him
didn't
when they
mean that
attacked.
room. I meant the one where we found the magic circle.
Not enough space
For him to sit there and hide?
for him to put all the books in here.
No, no, no.
It's a
We-
small
we
crawl
take-
space.
Okay.
We take the books
Yeah, abandoned.
back to the house. We've got plenty of time.
Destroy
We
the
leave
circle.
them at the house. We come back. We hide the magic circle back how it was.
Okay, so we're going to move the books from the mountainside estate
Yep.
to the abandoned house.
I feel like it'd be, I feel like it just.
And then are we swearing the rescuees to basically a vow of silence saying that they're not to discuss the
100%.
empty house
Yeah.
so that the guard don't come looking and find.
I mean,
Hey, look, you saved our life.
are we really trying to reserve the use of this circle?
No.
Because if
Well,
not,
I mean,
then-
at least for one more use to go back to
Well,
where we came from.
what I'm saying is there is the housing market for Bard's Gate is incredibly competitive, and people are often assassinated to get houses in the city. Like it would be like trying to open up a vineyard in France.
Yeah.
Like there is not only a waiting list, but there is active, like, clandestine and covert operations to prevent people from doing it, to preserve the prestige of other established, like...
that's irrelevant to me.
Right, so what I'm saying is, when you take these 12 individuals out of your sight, there may be a chance that they say, yeah, we went through a house somewhere, and it eventually comes to light that this individual's dead.
No, let's not do that.
And this cascading of events will occur where either the books are taken, or the magic circle is no longer active.
So what
I
you're
mean,
telling me is
I get it,
just,
this would be a hot
or telling
property,
us is
too. It
just,
comes with
you
its
know,
own vacation
slap the
portion.
metaphorical horse in the ass and then just make them run off on their own.
Hey, since you did us a favor, since we did you a favor, saved your life, don't tell them about the house. You came in through the front gate.
Ah, yes. The
Okay.
vow of
Thank you.
dubious homage.
I mean,
We can
they're willing to they're willing to say, yeah, we won't tell anyone. But you and I both know that's only going to go as far as till the next person with a sword asks them for information.
Yeah, that's fine.
As long as we're able to recycle some of these goods, get our associate back, because I'm now awake and find out that he's just gone. But he's in Bard's Gate, so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
he's alive. Let's get
Well,
the women home.
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
I mean, here's the thing. When he went through the portal, he went to Bard's.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, if it's still going to Bard's Gate, let's send the women home. Let's sell some excessive equipment we're not going to use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get us some more supplies, and we'll rest up here. We'll hunker down. Any hobgoblins return, we'll take care of them for now. When Coltrane returns, then we move on with our quest.
All right.
And in the meantime, we can take turns scouring through the books while waiting here.
Technically, these are his books, so they should go to his descendants. I'm fine with that. We've got plenty of money from the stuff that we
Yep.
stole, acquired.
We
You know,
found-
it's it's
If you
our
find-
Possession is
If you
9/10 of
find-
the law.
If you find the right
Yeah,
buyer
dude.
with this book set, you can get 10
Spoils
grand.
of war.
right,
At least.
and I'm totally okay with that. But you know, if it happens that the books go to his next of kin,
That's already
it's regrettable, but it happens. We'll get the money we need to resurrect Mittens somewhere. I know you're all gonna completely chip in all of your money to help me do this.
So let's we're
As he
So
says that,
let's-
how much is a haversack?
so let's kind of summarize the selling process, and we'll do a couple of rolls, and then we'll call it for the session. Okay, so let's
Yes, I
start.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, let's start moving to
Close
close.
it up.
All right. So you let me know what you need me to roll for the dagger.
You would easily be able to find a buyer within an hour,
Okay.
and you need to also include the masterwork price. So it's
All right,
2,000.
+1 plus masterwork.
Yeah, so it's +1 plus masterwork plus the base price, which I think just a regular dagger is like a gold piece. So it's 2,301 gold. You can get 80% of that back.
The diamond that's needed as
Is that the
Doing
same
it on
thing with-
purpose. Let's call it 1,700.
A dagger is 2 gold pieces, but
So double that.
You get 1841.
1841.
Actually, you get 1842
Ooh, it went up.
because it was going to be 0.6, but I don't care about silver pieces.
How much is
It's
like?
economy
I know
of
a bag of holding is expensive.
Well, hold on. Let's get what we have together
My bad.
first.
Yeah.
How much were the stealth breastplates? I forget.
So they're not masterwork,
Mhm.
but the function on them will increase their base price by 10 gold.
All right. So they're breastplate plus 10 gold each.
Yeah.
Do you want me to look up what breastplate costs?
You look up the price of one javelin.
One javelin. Got
Is
it.
there anything else we're selling, guys?
I'm assuming the spears and the other elven curve blades.
5 short bows.
And the wine.
While
The
we're all doing
cookery
this, we're saying we're gonna hunker down in this fort for the night, right? Everyone.
One gold piece for a
I'm gonna-
javelin.
So there's 100 javelins.
So 100 gold pieces.
Yeah, and you would get 80 gold for selling them.
All right. So whoever grabbed the javelins, write down 80 gold for javelins.
I noted it down.
Who's keeping
Next
track
item?
of the party loot?
And then
I don't-
usually Blake.
Here
Hold
I
on.
have-
Yeah.
Hold
Blake
on.
is.
We need hold on before we get too deep in the math. Who's keeping track of the money that I'm saying is being collected from the
I'm
sale?
right down, writing it down.
Okay,
I
so
took
you-
the 1800 per person.
Right, for specifically for the dagger.
Yeah.
But you're tracking the selling of the breastplates
Yes.
and the javelins.
Okay, the javelin was 80 gold.
Yep, I got the javelins
Okay.
ready gold.
Okay.
You also have
add 500 from the safe.
yep,
I'm not
500
taking
gold
that
from the
for
safe.
myself. I said I
Okay.
wouldn't.
You're a better man than me.
It was right in front of everybody. I couldn't take
Then
it.
there were also the blackened steel shields, large steel shields.
Okay.
Alright, so
Which is the
steel
same thing.
shield.
It'll increase the base price by 10 gold.
So I will let you know what that costs. Steel shield. 59 gold pieces. If I'm reading this correctly.
What category of steel shield? Heavy,
Heavy
light,
steel.
heavy steel?
Oh wait, right here. Steel light, steel heavy shield.
Yeah,
20 gold pieces, so 30 gold pieces.
right. And there were 21 of them.
And how much we sell them for?
80%.
80%.
So just do the whole thing, find out what the total cost would be, and then multiply it by 0.8.
All right, so they're
63.
30 each. 63?
60. Yeah, it would be. Well, it would be basically. 20. 30 times 21. So 2 times 3 is 6.
Okay.
610.
Yeah, so it'd be 610.
610. And that's going to be before the 80% or after the 80%?
That's before.
That's before the 80%.
630.
So
630 times 0.8.
8 times 6,
648.
48.
Times
So it'd be
0.8.
480.
504.
504. Okay.
That's
Nice.
better. Your math's better than mine.
All right. So we need
8 times 3 is 20.
30 or 80% of 700.
80% of 700?
560.
Okay.
Is there any other items we need to price?
7, 105, 80% 105.
I think I had the right prices, but we also have 5
84.
short bows, 5 short swords,
Okay.
and 5 chainmail shirts from the
Okay.
previous thing.
Chainmail shirt.
We need 21
chainmail
times
shirts are 100.
210 for the
Short
stealth
21
breastplate.
times 210.
Hold that for a second.
They're on the cart.
You guys can go back and get them. It's fine.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
said
bring
what?
it
We're in
first
open
thing,
time
but
right
I'm
now.
gonna bring the
210?
cards in.
Yes.
Is 4410, and then
80% of that.
This is
3528.
35, 28. Okay. What about the elven swords that Alec found in the hallway?
Okay, so there were how many?
17.
All right, hold on.
So
So
by the
it's
way, feel free to write down that the chainmail shirts are worth 100 gold pieces each.
Got it. So then
So that way when
got
he
those already.
asks, oh, you already got those?
Yeah, I took care of those earlier.
Alright, so we can get that.
for
Then
selling
5
all of
short
the
swords.
masterwork elven curved blades. You get 4,556.
4,556.
Yeah, because the elven curved blades are 80 gold pieces each.
All right. There's anything
Oh, I
else
did 35.
you
What?
guys have on your sheets?
So doubled it. That makes it 70. You said
You were
did it
not
at
doubling the
35?
master price. We're in the masterwork price though.
Ah, well, that sucks. I tried my best.
That'll be an error in my favor, and I'll factor that into the books.
That's what he said.
Error in your favor.
I love that card. All right. Was there any other items?
5 short swords and 5 short bows.
How much is this for master?
5 short swords are
Masterwork
10
for weapons,
gold
300.
each,
10 gold each, yep.
Gold?
and then short bows are
I
30
have my
gold
own
each.
blade.
Yeah, so that would just be
You can. You're an
30
elf.
times 5 is 150 minus 80%
But you're-
of that.
You're proficient with all
So
martial.
minus 20% of that. So
As a gunslinger, really?
Yeah, because you're a fighter-based type.
I'll just keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a fun.
Let's just
And then it's exotic, but because you're an elf, you treat it as martial. Because that is the term elven in the blade.
120.
Elven in the name.
120.
What are the stats for the?
Oh,
right.
way
curved
better
blade?
than items.
Was there
Oh,
anything
yes,
else?
the +1 one.
Any other items?
So were we gonna
What's
sell
that-
any of
what
those
is he?
long swords or anything like
Yeah,
that?
we've already.
We already did
We've
all
already
that.
calculated it in the sell price.
Are we gonna sell because we have just apples?
No,
pie-
there-
any
You wanna
other
keep them?
armors
No,
we
one of the
found on
guys
the
was-
goblins?
had
we,
it.
we
Took
sold
care of
those
that.
already.
Okay.
We did the shields, we did the javelins, we did the swords, did all the
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
if I
yeah.
were you, I would sell
it's
my
gonna be-
stock as well.
The wine.
Yeah,
For
it was-
personal
it's-
profit.
Keeping the wine for the road.
It's a -1 to hit
Yeah,
because your
it's
strength's
expensive.
so low.
We'll buy
And it's a
cheap
strength.
No, I will.
weapon.
All right.
So
There's
you
also
should only
Jamie's
use it
old
like in an
armor.
emergency.
Oh.
Because it's
I
not
like having
Well,
it back.
that's your personal.
He says he
so-
threw it into the pile of
Okay.
armor.
So it's
So.
What was it?
-1 to hit.
Just the breastplate.
Total.
And I'm
Because your
literally
bad's
wearing
plus
the
1, but
same
your strength's
armor.
-2.
Standard
Minus the
breastplate?
sta- yeah,
And then the
minus
damage,
the
I don't know.
So
stuff.
200 gold, 80% of that,
100.
160.
Yeah.
Well, 80, yeah, because 80% of 100 would be
So
80.
add another-
Yeah.
add another
So-
What was, what was in that
Okay.
room, the forge room that I found? Were there swords or
The
anything in there?
four.
You would find 300 gold worth of like blacksmithing equipment.
Oh, do you want to try to
And
sell
since
your
those are
wine?
trade goods, they sell at
Oh.
value.
Yeah, sell the
Oh,
wine
so
too.
300
20
gold.
bottles of that wine.
Okay, that you would need.
400.
That's
That's
some armor.
pretty good.
3.
Well, that, but also you
What
would
am I
need.
rolling?
Do you have a knowledge local?
Mm-hmm.
Roll it.
If anyone wants to look up a bag of holding or handy haversack for the price, because right now we're at over 10,000 gold before splitting it.
27.
All right, so
I'll look it up.
you find a shop that you think would be able to appropriately appraise each bottle.
What was the
Um,
second one?
They recognize that you're not proficient with estimating the price, so they offer to buy before even looking. They only take a look at one of the bottles, not all 20. They offer to buy out your collection for 2,000.
Would that seem like
Roll an appraise.
am I smart enough to
No, no.
realize they're trying to
Sense
fuck me?
motive.
One. Really big.
I have a high.
You can roll sense motive and appraise if you want.
Yeah, I'll do both.
Okay, just-
Purple is appraise. This is sense motive.
Okay.
And it's the same price for a handy.
17 for appraise plus 11,
Yes.
so 28
Exactly.
again, and then 3
Yeah, 2,000
plus
for a haversack.
36.
Okay.
Sense motive. Sense motive.
So for sense motive, you're able to tell like they're mostly
wait,
just
no.
doing this because
500 cheaper.
Business.
business.
Yeah.
So 2,000.
And
But
Vin-
I'm
Cubic feet
smart.
and
Yeah.
things.
so, but with your appraise check, you would know that each of the bottles,
So
a
bag of holding.
a
Yeah.
lordly quality bottle of wine like this could go for like 100 to maybe 500 gold, depending on age and collection, things like that. You have heard of in your past at some point recalling like bottles that would go above and beyond that, but they were effectively like this is one of one kind of thing.
But that's what I could have right here.
You could have, yeah. But you don't know because you can't read the labels, and you didn't have anybody in the part. You don't speak Elven.
I'll cast comp languages before I
So
when I'm going in there to make sure.
Okay,
I know.
so you would recognize the name. We would be able to read the names of all the vineyards that made them, but you wouldn't have knowledge to associate quality.
Understandable.
Right, you wouldn't be able to interpret that into price.
Okay.
Right.
What do you think?
Mm, I think that
you guys
having
want to
the
do.
ability to grab your
diplomacy.
alchemical equipment as needed would be more useful.
Well, I keep most of them on my person, but I use regularly.
I need a number. 1.
Plus,
They'll go up to 2, 3.
I mean, here's the thing. So,
It could just be
70 cubic feet. So you're actually getting
I don't
80
think that's
cubic
right.
feet and 8
Uh,
pounds.
No, I'll have.
You're getting
somewhere
more
else then.
Okay.
So then
They-
a bag too.
they-
We'll sell it some other time.
Yeah,
Okay.
Andy does 80
Hold
cubic
on to
feet.
it.
That's
It
a
might
second.
be good. I've never had wine before. It might
Alright,
be good.
so
Once
we're putting
again,
the wine onto the
Andy
pot.
Haversack
Yeah, wine's coming with us.
is
Oh my
Okay.
8
They
cubic
try to
feet
underdog
and
bar
80
fuck
Can I
that
get
pounds.
shit.
how
So,
many wine bottles? How much?
20.
all right, hold on.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
right,
and they're
so
all very
bag of
expensive and very good,
holding
evidently.
And will they weigh like a pound each?
No, this is actually
Yeah,
the
is
30
that-
cubic feet would be bigger.
Okay.
Even the first one, because it holds more
Just for
weight too, right?
simplistic
Yeah.
sake, so.
So look at a version 2 bag of holding.
Pounds is simplistic.
How much is it?
Do you try to find a buyer for the
2,000,
books,
5,000
or do you want to go
books
through them
each.
first?
I want to go through them first.
Okay.
There's nothing.
So while they
want to
go
do
out, you don't get rejected. You have a polite discussion at the sommelier's establishment. You politely decline the sale, and then you start.
Politely, but yeah.
And then you go back to the house. While they're out selling the rest of the equipment, you can roll some interactions with the astrological books. Give me. Do you want to roll luck or do you want to roll d20s?
D20s.
Okay, give me 3 d20 rolls. Add your intelligence mod and your wisdom mod to it.
Can I also help with that?
Yes, since you.
7. Natural 20 for a 27, 13 for a 20, and 15 with a. So 15, 20, and 27.
Okay.
And
You
one
said
of
you
them
wanted to roll?
One of them was a natural.
Yeah, I'll try
20.
luck.
That would
Yeah.
be the smart thing to do.
That'll make it easier.
Hell yeah, I would love somebody to help me out with this.
All right. So while she's pulling her dice out, to go
You said
over the
3?
books, 3. Well,
Or do you want me to
3
roll
d20s.
Okay. Right.
So
You said 3d6 if you want
as you start to go through the books, we'll take the lowest roll and go to the top.
Okay.
So you start combing through the books.
Have we got a,
You will break it down by catalog. So there were the 2 sisters, which are the names of the moons.
Yep. That's what I'm looking at.
Thanks.
Well, he wants to know because he
Okay.
doesn't want to invest in it.
The constellations,
Okay.
and then the other planes. And then tell me what role you want associated with what volume.
I want the natural 20 on planes. I want the 20 on the constellations, and I want the 15 on the 2 sisters.
Okay, so to start with the 2 sisters, you know that's a common name for the 2 moons that orbit this planet. It makes any type of lunar-based magic a little bit stronger. So like moonbeam and that kind of stuff is slightly more empowered here than it is in traditional settings. As you peruse the volume, you mostly gather that he's formed a series of very outlandish hypotheses regarding the moon, and he's basically tracking their movements, and as well as other phenomenon that occur in the Stoneheart Valley, which is like where Bard's Gate is and where you are right now, to see if there's a correlation between them and seasonal patterns. And he is proposing that the magical auras that they give off as a byproduct boost the effects of like natural hunters and things like that, like wolves or mountain lions, anything that would hunt by the moonlight.
Okay.
And that increased in predatory activity would also cause an increase in like strength and growth in non-predatory animals. So like as they are able to more confidently pick off the weaker, the ones that survive this increased in predatory activity become stronger, and as that cycle continues back and forth, he's predicting that in several thousand years, that forced evolution will cause very, very significant changes to the wildlife.
Okay.
For the constellations, you can see at the same time he's tracking multiple different things. He has different projects going on. With respect to the constellations, this is more or less him tracking the most favorable times to cast astromancy powers. So from what you can tell in the book, there are very few combat-based spells for astromancy, but the ones that exist are like summoning the equivalent of like cataclysmic events. Like you're able to find like meteors and comets in space and then use magic to pull them to the planet. And so he's basically tracking how 800 years ago he cast that spell to summon the meteor, and he's tracking the position of the meteor as it comes to the planet because he wants to drop it in the ocean. And he's basically like going to force a tidal wave somewhere.
Once.
Well, it's going to happen eventually.
Oh, one day it will.
One day it will. Like, he cast the spell, and now, 800 years later, he's still tracking the position of the meteor to make sure it's going to hit the planet one day.
Also this. Okay.
And so you would know that something like this, like, if this type of magic fell into the wrong hands, or had already fallen into the wrong hands, you could, and knowing the size of the object you're trying to pull from space, you could, like, level a city.
Yeah.
And so he's also saying that this type of magic is often used in the past when the kings and pharaohs of old would summon their court advisors and say, we need to destroy a rival kingdom. And in the times of crises and in times of war, court astromancers would conjure and have smaller meteors in orbit around the planet waiting to be summoned down to level armies.
Okay.
The Zodiac positions are there to basically, as the map is being shifted, because he can see where the stars are, you can tell that he's basically saying, all right, it's been 10 days since I checked the position of the comet, so it should be here. And you can tell that he cannot visibly see that foreign object he's summoning. And so when he casts a celestial version of clairvoyance, clairaudience, he has to know where the meteor is going to be in order to see it. And so he's calculated things like trajectory and velocity based off of the spatial observations of magic.
Nerd.
That's definitely the guy you should be talking to about that nonsense.
Yes.
Velocity,
Oh,
stuff like that. You might.
I believe it. You might.
All right. So then with the other planes, you would see that he has another series of hypotheses. Basically, the same constellation exists on all planes. It's just depending on where you're viewing them from. And so this one is very high-level math, and you're able to kind of navigate most of it, since this was the one you got the natural 20 on. You can tell that he's been to other planes and has set up temporary workshops where he's tried to view stars from, like, the plane of fire, where he's pierced the infinite field of the plane, to try to find stars in the astral sea and then triangulate the position of where the prime material is and where in respect this specific planet is. And so his hypothesis is that although the planes are said to be layers on top of each other that help to create reality, that it's actually reality is stretched so far into the universe that you could, without magic, travel through space and get to the plane of fire eventually. So, a lot of really weird stuff. You don't, other than the moons and their position to phenomenon occurring in the Stoneheart Valley, you don't find anything in the other two volumes that would translate that information to other events. So, with that knowledge, you think you really only need the Two Sisters volume if you're going to use that information to specifically look for phenomenon associated with the Sword of Air.
Alright, then that's the one I'll keep.
Okay.
And I'll just keep going through them when we go on our travels.
Okay.
So, for the group, we have about 10,372 gold before splitting it. If you want to get a bag of holding, they're 2,500. Handy haversack is 2,000, but it holds less materials, including weight limits.
Don't forget about the minor.
There is a minor bag of holding, which holds a little less than a normal bag of holding. That's only 1,000. Yeah,
I say get the big one and have one person keep track of everything.
we can do that. But I'm saying before, otherwise we split it 7 ways and buy what you want, or we get an item for the group and then split the rest.
I agree with that.
It's whatever you guys want to do.
I can keep track of party loot.
I'd be okay with that.
We have one
He's
volunteer
ready
to keep
kill
track of.
people. He wants
Party
to go
loot.
get his fucking son back.
Nah.
He's ready.
Yes, hello, person.
Well, yeah, I think the person,
hello.
each person who's carrying one of those bags should at least be keeping track of what's put into that bag.
Yeah.
Agreed. You keep track of your own shit, but it's all in the bag
Yeah.
together. Correct.
All right.
No, it'd be like, all right, I'm gonna throw this into Jamie's bag of holding. Well, then Jamie needs to track that item because it's in the bag of holding he's carrying.
Okay. So
That's
then we will get a
Yeah.
version 1
So we'll
bag
have
of holding.
multiple people
Yeah.
tracking individual party
Only
units
so
as
long
per
as
where it's
Andrew
contained.
wants
So
to
if
hold it.
one bag gets
You want
destroyed,
me to
it
hold
goes
it?
everything just
Yeah.
goes in that bag.
Okay, I hear you.
Your name's not on the list.
All right, now I do need to do one more highly illegal
What
thing.
about me?
Wait, how many of the people in the party are on the list?
You're an elf and you don't speak Draconic.
Everyone.
We're all
Anyone
Okay.
who's not a kobold
Now you're on
or
my
a
list.
DM.
I'm like, how you
You
like
didn't
them
even
apples?
know what I said.
We gotta
don't even
earn our
know
way
what I
out
said.
first.
Anyway, Dylan, I'd like
No.
to get my
I don't
hands
speak gibberish.
upon
Wait,
a
am I on
I don't
the
speak
list?
moon runes.
let's call it the badge of some kind that would be very difficult to track down if it was legitimate or not.
What's the badge for?
Just in case we get into some trouble that may need me to go, oh, no, don't worry, I'm law enforcement. We're good.
Okay, so like papers,
credentials.
Yeah, some type
credentials.
of fake credentials that would be very hard to track. You know, it's like, oh, we can't contact the Campancha Mountain Sheriff's Department. They're too far away.
Okay.
Or, you know, something like that.
So you would also know that like if you're very far out of your jurisdiction, people may not care. So are you trying to get it localized to a specific area?
I'm not trying to get it localized to a specific area. Just maybe, you know, it might help with the diplomancy. If it's like, hey, yeah, I'm just escorting these guys from here to there. Just need to pass through. I'll keep an eye on them.
Is there an FBI or like a CIA in this?
Well, the CIA can't operate.
We'll get you a magic core.
We'll
So
just get you psychic paper.
Yeah, exactly. Psychic paper would be good. No, yeah. And depending on the price, they may get multiple different like guard areas.
so
Galavarius.
with the rules of tabletop RPGs, like if you wanted something that changed so that it was more fitting to your location, you could buy like
Yeah.
a magic
Yeah.
masterwork tool for the diplomacy skill, and the tool being credential
Your
papers.
death list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that'll work. How much would that set me back?
You should probably like write that down so you have it.
I did. I'm gonna rewatch the replay.
Yes, the masterwork falsified credential.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Alright, while he's looking that up,
Remember that?
everyone else, add to your character sheet
Technically,
1,124 gold pieces.
All
If you
right.
fail to do so, Van's taking it and going to walk away.
Wow, that puts me at over 3,000 gold
You
pieces.
said 1,124?
Yes.
Thank you.
That puts me into 3,080 gold
I was
pieces.
kind of
You know,
enraged.
You had
You
200
don't
gold
have
before
my time,
telling me?
so I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
the replay.
Cool.
I think
Remember,
that didn't
because I got the
happen
we got the gold from him.
At that point,
but
you were
I'm
still
and-
up in
spellcaster.
the
I didn't need a
thing.
bunch.
True.
Yeah, I never.
And of course, during that time, whenever you meet Van would return
You
the
said that,
ingredients
but he didn't catch
that he
it.
borrowed from
so
you.
then you had to go back and you were still in the.
Cool.
He says,
How you
thank
get
you, sir.
for me to burn between my statues.
If I could do some of that troll blood, I'll let you know.
He's doing it.
I still say we run a specific test by injecting it into certain cobalt.
It's on my list of potential experiments.
I just want to see if it'll make him bigger and stronger.
Is that it then, sir? Or is this for the night?
We're gonna do a little bit more. I'm trying to look up this.
No worries.
Really?
Yeah, he's giving me a masterwork fake ID, so that way I can proclaim to be of certain guard groups and government agencies.
So
Because I feel like with him around, eventually I'm going to need to go. Don't worry, we're just transporting.
So, what you're asking for would be illegal,
I'm aware.
and so you would know that something like that would probably cost about 800 gold. Since you're not an affiliate of the Common Connoisseur, who may purvey of those particular items, you feel you're probably going to get asked something around 1,200.
I do feel that I am adjacent to that lifestyle, but not in that lifestyle, so that seems fair. And I'll try to chew them down to about 1,000 if I can.
Okay, how would you like to do that? Diplomancy or
Yeah, we'll try the diplomancy for now.
my least
little-
favorite kind of magic?
Would you prefer the immediate?
No.
Seduction.
Is it up for debate?
All right, go ahead and roll.
Should I try bluffing them? I am a government agent. I just lost my badge and I don't want to get fucked fired. Don't make me arrest you. Diplomancy.
Prove it.
I think the price just went up. Jeez. Diplomancy. We're talking 8.
All right, they will. You are a regular, so they'll go 11.5, 11.50. So they'll give you a 50 gold.
11.5. Fine. I'll take 11.5,
All right,
and I'll make sure to send some more business your way.
excellent. All right.
I know a kobold who wants to be classified as a small dragon.
So you guys sold everything. You've divvied up gold.
Yes.
Is there anything else you guys want to do?
Potion bandolier and health potion.
Core rulebook, potion bandolier. I think is 15 gold.
Okay.
All right.
I'd be buying supplies for the road. Extra vials, other alchemical
Yeah,
stuff.
that's fine. All right, Alec,
Yeah.
roll a will save.
Come on, give me my first one.
Will he save is the question. Why would you roll that die? That die is cursed.
It's not. Probably is, though. 15.
All right, now roll an intelligence check.
Yeah, keep it.
18.
All right, so roll percentiles.
Let's see how roll.
88.
Nice.
Per hour.
That's a good one. All right, so
That's my clock-in number at work.
during
Got an 8.
8.
That was close.
That's because you're fat.
Plus his, it would have been about the same.
88.
Oh no, that's because you eat and eat. It's 8 and 8.
okay, now roll a d8.
I gotta find one. Hold on, I don't have one ready for that. I was not ready for this. I didn't know I need a D8. 7.
This is gonna be bad.
Now roll a d4.
Fuck off.
Wait, no, Steve. Now roll 3d6.
Okay, now roll 3. Oh, I'm rolling a new character. I don't know.
Oh, shit. Hey, 665.
All right, so
That's a lot.
that night after you read through the tomes,
Okay.
I don't know where you guys were intending to sleep that night, but that night, wherever you sleep,
We
Party
probably made
house.
our way back to our car and probably
Yeah.
camped out there for the night.
so you fall asleep under the stars.
Okay.
And when you wake up, you're in a glen next to a rotten deer carcass.
Okay. You have a very concerning dream. In the dream, you see a beautiful woman who comes to you. She's in a black ceremonial robe and has long flowing black hair. Take your time.
I'm getting this one.
Potion house.
Page 478.
I'm looking at him now, but I don't quite know how to make sense.
It would be a minor potion. Cast level first.
That's 50 GP for life.
Yeah.
Life wounds.
Beautiful woman wearing a black
50
what?
gold.
Okay.
Dress. With long black hair.
Thank you.
I will buy 5. How many slots does a bandolier have?
10.
10?
Yeah.
By 5.
How much was the potion?
Why don't we
man?
let
50.
Steve finish his turn?
Yes.
He's
15?
purchasing.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I'll do the same.
She comes to you,
You too.
and you can tell that she's very radiant, but the light coming off of her seems to be starlight. It's like a faint glisten, shimmer, almost enveloped in shadow. It is not sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "My child, what has happened to you?" And she reaches out to touch your face and hold it kind of in her hands. And you start to have a vision similar to your arrival in Bard's Gate. Would you now fully remember that vision and that dream?
So I remember the falling. I remember the seeing the woman screaming and all that. Okay. And the taking the power and all that jazz.
And you're back in that room, the temple,
Okay.
but all of the artisan's tools and everything like that are missing. And in front of you is a man who claims to be your father, and you hate him. You loathe him.
What does he look like?
He's human. He looks to be like a beggar or a poor person, maybe a common worker. And somewhere in your heart, you know his claims to be true, and you hate him for it.
Search your feelings, Alec.
You know it be true.
And in that moment, when he starts to talk about your mother, you reach out with that same power and you siphon the life from him and absorb it into yourself. And he falls to the ground, a lifeless husk of skin and sinew and bone. And as your hatred boils over, you cast some type of undead necromantic spell on him and rebirth him as an undead slave. And he stands with a blackened face, sunken eyes, and sharpened teeth like he would be a cannibal, and is now just a mindless, gibbering, appalling wretch. And you order him to just be away from you. And he slumps to the ground in a ghoulish manner, and upon his knuckles begins to crawl away.
Into the corner of the room, where he shuts the door behind him.
Okay. And that's the whole dream. I wake up.
That's the whole dream, and you wake up and you remember it.
Holy shit! All right, cool. I write down the entire dream, word for word, and I'm freaking out because, holy shit! What the fuck was that?
All right, Van, roll a fortitude save. Would you elect to fail?
Because of being exhausted prior and just getting back to fatigue, I'm tempted to let that happen. But I did say I'd go with the roll, with the draw of the card. So would that have any effect on my roll?
Well, I mean, you're technically not well rested yet, so you're still fatigued. So you'd have a -2.
-2?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see what it does. That's now 16 plus fortitude, so 20.
All right.
I resist.
You perceive no change in yourself.
I feel well rested though.
Yeah, you feel well rested.
Awesome.
All right. Gauss.
Oh.
How many people?
You do not feel excellent.
Put me in the
Not
book.
helping your case.
Put me in the book.
You
Not
have a whole
helping your
page.
case, man.
I'm gonna let that slide.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha.
Put me in the book. Put me 3 times.
Roll a will save.
Oh.
Yeah. 7.
I haven't copied your notes to my paper yet, so I have to pull my phone up real quick. I hope that doesn't.
All I was saying is I think he's the shell of the man he used to be.
That is ironically true. I'll let it.
Hey, you guys need to.
go this time.
Whatever's going on with you, you guys need to wrap up. I don't want to be walking on eggshells with you guys all day.
I know, right?
See, and that's why he's
Look,
in
all I'm saying is after he found that thing in the statue, it felt like he cracked.
If you want to make an omelet, you gotta
Times
crack a
three.
few eggs.
Dude,
All right.
I can't take it. These yolks are killing me.
Oh, no, he's on it. He can't hold the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, can't he just look on the sunny side up?
Times 4.
If you kill them all, I'll give you their XP.
Oh,
Try
yeah.
it.
None of this is in character. This is
Oh.
me as
So
personal.
you
This
say.
is
No, this is Toad's in character.
Toad's
So
Steven.
that night, while you plot murdering them,
That's my name over again.
you, even though you're frustrated and even though you weep and you grieve, and as you lie there in the field, you have the remains of your clutchling resting on you, and you kind of cradle yourself back and forth just as you would if he was alive. You hear a voice come to you. It is not your own, and it is youthful in its cawing to you, and you think you hear what would be a dragon hatchling trying to speak to you somehow, and you look around and you see that you're surrounded by the field, and you get up, and as you look, you call out to your son, and you feel instinctually in your soul that there is something there trying to communicate with you, that it's lost and it needs help. And as your paternal instinct kicks in, for a brief moment you regrow to your true form, and then you wake up to see that you're still asleep in the grass. But the gem that was given to you by
Kaden.
by Caden's associate is changed color from a ruby to a sapphire.
Noted. Interesting. Do you hear the voices too? Sometimes.
What?
No, you guys aren't there.
Would I know who that bitch was in my dream?
Roll knowledge religion.
Jeez.
I know who it is. I want to see if I know who she
Oh,
is.
Shira. I saw that. Yeah.
Is she somebody that would appreciate
An
being
8?
referred to?
Yeah, I don't think I know. Technically.
No, you have no idea
I
who
have
it
no
is.
idea who it is. Oh well, that's something to contemplate later on.
All right. So for rescuing all the captives and beginning some nice plot advancement, everyone can have 1,500 XP.
Oh, puts us at 47. Or me at 47.
Puts you at 47.
It's all Chicago's.
I'm at 49.10 myself.
Wow, we're almost
How much
there.
did you get?
I'm at 47.90.
Alright, I just gotta make Dylan laugh one more time, and I might actually level tonight.
Hey, there it is.
All right, guys. I think that is the perfect place to wrap up. We will pick up there next week.
Wonderful night. Good game, guys.
Back on the road at
He
that
didn't
point.
ask me.
Alright.
Good fucking.